Hello and welcome to Black Dragon Roleplay, where we are not professional voice actors, we are not gaming gods, we are just a group of friends that have been brought together through the love of story who want to share our tabletop adventures with all of you. A few things before we start our session proper. We are so glad that you are here watching us live. I wish I could watch us live, but there's something wrong with my browser. Let's fix that. We appreciate all the support that we have on Twitch. If you are new here and you want to keep up with the campaign, please drop us a follow. If you want to keep track and interact with us when we're not on the stream, hit us up on the Discord. The link is in the box below. If you'd like to support us, we will welcome that gladly. There's a subscribe button. Drop your Prime sub, drop a sub, support the stream. We greatly appreciate everyone who has supported the stream. And if you cannot make it to watch us live on Twitch, we have been posting these weekly shows on our YouTube page. Everything that we do here on stream on Twitch goes onto our YouTube channel. Black Dragon RP on YouTube is where you can find all of our content. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And after nearly 20 episodes, that's it. That's you've killed my creative spirit. I have no more hit it jokes, no more memes, no nothing. Just hit the subscribe button.
We've broken him.
Oh no.
Party time.
And without further ado, I think it is time to start tonight's session. Episode rewind that. Episode 17, Verdant Chambers. The morning after the attack of the Bat creature, Dante is quick to pull up stakes and leave, while curiosity gets the better of Emmy as she makes a discovery of an opening and a path underneath the large ancient stump. With some concern for the safety of those in the area, the team agrees, after some objections by Camiel, to examine the tunnel. After some minor issues, the team find themselves on the other side of a restrictive tunnels and in front of a solid stone wall with strange markings. Camiel and Saoirse are able to read the Sylvan writing, which calls the space Home of the Banished. Dante reads a wooden sign that Emmy had picked up in Thieves' Cant that says, "Go back, home of big evil Fae." Once Camiel touches the wall, the barrier descends into the ground with a rumble. The wall opens up to a beautiful underground forest with purple and pink canopy of treetops, iridescent grass, and luminescent pools. As the party makes their way into the glowing forest, they spot the creature that they had faced the evening before, wrapped in vines and vegetation, connected to a base of a tree. Camiel, hoping to help the spirit in some way rather than see it or the party harmed, approaches it carefully, speaking to the creature. The creature remains unresponsive, but slowly some of the vines begin to retract as the creature stirs before attacking. The battle rages again between the party and the Bat, as well as vine-like blight creatures that appear throughout the forest, helping their large ally. After a rough early start, the party fight well and is able to endure the creature's heavy physical and mental attacks. Once defeated, seeing the remaining liquid slowly seep towards the tree again, Boltzmann hits it with a fire attack that ends the creature permanently. Searching the tree after, the team finds a wooden chest with an iron lock, which holds a scroll from Vanifold of the Radiant Light, fake Queen of the Fae, that explains that this once peaceful spirit was changed when man took down her forest. Rather than bring her back to the Fae, where her evil could spread, she created this small piece of home and imprisoned her here, hoping that she would never break free. As the party leaves, Camiel notices that in each of the pools, the bottom is lined with bones and human remains, presumably victims of the cruel beast. And I think you guys were on your way out and heading towards topside as we ended last week. So what are you guys doing now?
What time would you say it is?
It's still pretty early in the morning. You guys had just woken up. You had fought the night previous, and had woken up, gotten ready to go, was about ready to pull up, and then noticed the hole and started descending. So I would say it's probably 11 o'clock once you finished up down below and came up.
Does Bran take? Does he see Addie at all? By hopefully next to the 2 donkeys.
Yes.
Okay.
Addie is with the wagon.
Definitely didn't eat the 2 donkeys.
Nope, not yet.
Not
Is
yet.
Addie
All right.
that
Good.
big?
Good.
No.
Is Addie that large now?
Addie is.
Yeah.
She is definitely
Actually-
getting
Close
big.
enough, you can try.
She's no longer able to be held in your pack anymore. She's getting much bigger. She's been riding in the wagon and much less controllable as far as being able to just physically remove her from situations. You have to rely on your bond that you've created with her, and which is pretty strong, being the fact that you've had her now for a better part of a month or a little bit more.
An even more important question: how's the coconut strapped to her back? Do we still have that?
Is it sprouting at this point? Like, what's the condition of the cocoa nut?
Coconut.
I would have said that you either would have lost it or you would have put it into the bag of holding. It would no longer have been strapped to the back.
Oh well.
Aww. I wanted to turn her into like a
after-
Bulbasaur or
A
something.
Bulbasaur, yeah.
4 weeks, it would have grown into her spine.
Let's not get to that. Yeah,
Right? Yikes. That's some kind of like
Yikes.
medieval torture.
Yeah.
that's some
Strap a
Last of
coconut
Us
to
stuff.
somebody.
forever. Anyways, since as we're going out of the of this underground area, I did pick up a what was it? A feather token from that chest.
It's like a wooden coin shape or
Yeah.
coin size token with a wood burned feather on one side.
Mhm. And it's supposed to be a tree. So if you plant it somewhere, a tree is going to sprout. From it. So what Boltzmann would do is that as the team is leaving, he would approach Camiel and just tap her shoulder, just making sure not to, she appears to be shaken from the recent encounter, and just to not startle her. Camiel,
Yeah? What is it?
I found this at the treasure chest. It's supposed to grow into a tree, and I would show the coin to Camiel.
Camille will reach out and accept, I suppose.
I don't know. I think you're the. I don't know. It's just. I think it would be appropriate that you'd have it. I was thinking that we plant it, at the stump, the entrance to this place, or something. I don't know.
To replace the home that you already lost.
Boltzmann just shrugs. I don't know. He's as usual. He's just words just doesn't words fail him.
Camille looks at this token and she notices the feather on the feather symbol on the token itself, and she rubs her finger on top of it. And she goes quiet, just looking at it. It's ironic, isn't it? We receive a seed right after the death of a once so innocent fee.
A new beginning, perhaps, or something just to replace what was lost.
Something to replace what once was lost, and have someone come around and chop it down again. Camille catches herself and sighs. Sorry. Thank you.
Boltzmann, yeah, Boltzmann, like recoil, like he's he kind of recoils from that statement, from that flash of emotion that you have. Wolfman just nods. It's understandable. Anyways, let's just get out of here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and we make our way to the exit or wherever.
I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think someone was offering help after me had that very close encounter with the Batibat.
Yeah, that was.
But I didn't.
Dante was offering to make sure that any bleeding was stemmed, and just giving you sort of some encouraging words after the vicious attack.
Yeah, which she'll verbally brush off as probably nothing at all, and worst case is some bruised ribs or something. It's like as she's standing up again, it's very obvious that there's definitely discomfort, extreme discomfort, and on the actual character sheet, her health is quite low. But I don't know exactly how healing works without like magic.
Well, I don't know. Dante can't really do much of anything about it, other than like put some bandages on there. He's quite likely to start hassling Bran about healing our new companion, but he'd offer sort of like a gentlemanly arm to escort you without propping you up to help prop you up, but not. He doesn't want to do it because clearly you don't want to show that you're in pain or anything like that.
Yeah. So like it was one of those offering like the hand. So she'll at least arms.
Yep.
So at least let you sort of do your gentlemanly thing, which she finds very charming and notes it like, oh, what a gentleman.
And then you get Bran would just feel tapping on the back as we're leaving. So it's like, hey, Bran. Emma, she's bleeding a lot.
Oh, it's hardly nothing.
You might ruin that dress.
Help hurts.
Bran can stop it. It's okay. That's what he does.
Okay then. No, that's wonderful. I appreciate it.
Bran.
I'm used to just bandaging myself up, and it's all right.
Bran is silent for several minutes. It's almost as if he's in his own little mindset at the moment, and it's almost as if those knocks that you make on his shoulder are ignored for a few minutes before he kind of snaps back to reality and is almost startled. Yes?
Bran, Em is bleeding.
Oh. He clears his throat, and you see Bran kind of stoop over, almost with like a glazed look in his eyes as he peers over at Emmy. And he will cast... Actually, let me check. Do I have any spell slots left? I do. Okay. I will cast Cure Wounds.
Is that a verbal?
It is... I never actually looked. It is a verbal and somatic. So he would be making a bit of a gesture with his fingers as he places it over her wound, and he might mutter something under his breath as this green ethereal energy pours out of his fingertips and into Emmy.
If there's a touch element, or as he's reaching his hand out, there might be a minor a step back. Just if it's around her ribs.
Oh no, he's not physically touching her. He's kind of at a distance, but it's kind of like a somatic thing, so he's... Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's more the motion of the hand. It's like a little Oh, okay.
I'll
Cool.
cast it at third. Wait, third? Do I have? Oh, I gotta check that. Do I have a third? Yes, I do. At third level. Wow. Gotta love that nat one. Yeah, that'll be 19 HP restored to Emmy.
Thank you kindly. And like she feels noticeably better, and she's like standing up straighter, and it's like and instantly like she can stand up on her own, so she does not hold Dante's hand anymore.
I'm sorry you had to take that hit, Emmy. I should have been more responsive.
No, not at all. Y'all were all taking care of business, and I do love to see that about this group. Y'all are all business, and it is refreshing, to see such bright eyes. And as she says that, she's like looking at Bran, who is very much not bright eyed, and like nobody else around her has that same kind of energy, but she's still like that bright eyed and focused. And it's really nice to see that you guys are dedicated to what you do.
Distracted smile kind of appears on Bran's face as you mentioned the bright-eyed comment. He kind of chuckles softly and almost distantly, if anything, like almost as if to humor her, as he seems to be very preoccupied with his thoughts. Hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Hopefully it doesn't require this kind of necessity. It would have been very nice if we could have, I suppose, eased the creature as opposed to, well, what we wound it up doing. But what a beautiful place we discovered.
It was beautiful, but with its host gone, are we sure it's gonna stay that way?
I suppose not. We'll have to find out as we leave.
Bran would nod slowly and kind of drift away from the conversation, returning to his thoughts again.
Knowledge is everything. And as they're heading out, as she's heading out, she starts to sing a little song, like kind of loud enough for others to hear, but it's sort of to herself. But she starts to sing.
Everyone
Dante.
okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're good.
No, someone disconnected.
Yeah, it was me. No, it was me.
Ah. You're good?
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back now. I got everything loading.
I was just gonna say Dante had just once Emmy let him go, he'd go over to the cart and start making sure that the donkeys are okay and that they weren't attacked at all by that vicious little owlbear.
So they've made it out. They're outside now.
Yeah, everybody is outside as they've kind of cleared out. And as you guys leave, you do notice that the life that had been kind of glowing and making this, a vibrant space with the iridescence of the grass and the reflection of the water and the kind of glowing that was everywhere has dimmed. And as you kind of leave this space, you're not quite sure if it's specifically because this creature is gone, or that the creature was causing this to be alive, or if whatever power was that created this knows now that there's nothing in this space, that it's no longer needed. But you do see things kind of dim and lose that vibrancy that it had.
Emmy had plucked a flower before walking out of the space.
Mhm.
That same kind of fading happened to the
Yeah,
now individual.
You pluck this very large, almost the size of two hands, and this large flower that's kind of blooming, and it's pink, and it has a like an iridescent shine to the exterior kind of the edges of this petals. And as soon as you notice, you kind of tuck it in somewhere safe, and as you exit, once you get back topside, you see it, and it has kind of wilted at the edges, and this iridescent is gone, and it's more of a dark reddish brownish color instead of this vibrant pink.
Ah. She's gonna pull that that trick where you hang flowers upside down and it helps them, like they'll start to decay, but also they kind of not preserve, but they just like they don't fall apart. There's some like trick like that. She pulls that and has it in like a jar or something.
Noticing that the color and the life in said space has slowly faded, and watching Emmy with the flower, kind of Camiel is observing and very quiet, and it's as though there was a moment of pain that flashes in her face, and she just looks away and goes to the cart itself, checking on Delilah and making sure that she's all right.
Yeah, Delilah, who had gone down with you, came out unharmed. No, nothing happened to her. She was okay. Actually, comes out a little bit, excited that she got to experience that.
Right, so I get back on the road.
Yeah, Dante. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say Dante'd make sure the cart's ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are able to. Anything? Anyone else want to do anything before you guys head out?
How much room is there? Who's in the cart, and how many people can fit in the cart?
Good question.
I would say comfortably. If you could have probably 4 people in the back of the cart, 2 people on top, but it would go slower because you only have 2 donkeys. You don't even have full horses. I think before you guys were kind of walking alongside it, and there was probably 2 people in the back, and then Dante driving was the setup before. But you guys can do whatever you'd like.
Bran would be happy to march.
I would
No problem.
ask if Delilah would mind if she had a little bit of company in the back, in the cart. 'Cause I want an opportunity to start working on transferring my new scrolls into my grimoire.
Okay. Yeah, I would allow you to do that. I don't know if that require a check or if it's just a time.
It's just time and gold.
It's just time, right? Time and
Yeah,
gold
time and
materials.
gold.
Yeah. Okay.
Time is money.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely allow that to happen. And Delilah's plenty of room in the cart, so Delilah does not mind.
Excellent. And she might even strike up just every now and then, look up and, compliment her on how brave she was and just be very, very friendly.
Okay, so before they actually leave, Camille would excuse herself from the party with the token that Boltzmann has given her, and she'll find a good spot somewhere within the vicinity, I suppose. Is there a place that Camille can plant said token or seed or whatever it is?
When you guys had made camp, there was a row of kind of a few trees and foliage. I would say roughage on the one side where you guys had kind of gone up against.
Mm-hmm.
Not real full trees, but the land that this stump was on is kind of all around is kind of farmland. This was just an open space that nobody had been using. So yeah, there's a bit of open land in between where the stump is and the road and where you guys were before.
Okay, so she's just gonna quickly excuse herself and find that spot, and get down on her knees and gently dig a hole. She's treating it like a seed, so this is the only thing that comes to mind. So she's digging a bit of a hole, and she's going to slowly place the token into the dirt, whisper a few things under her breath, and very carefully and gently, with respect, cup the dirt back into the hole and cover the token.
As you place the token within the ground itself, you can see it kind of this kind of white silverish light begin to kind of spin on the outside of this token, and the longer it's there, it starts slowly beginning to turn green and spinning a little faster as you cup the dirt over and take a few steps back, take a deep breath, and turn around, and you hear this rumble noise, and as you look back, you see in front of you a 60-foot tall tree.
Holy crap.
5 feet diameter in the trunk, so 5 feet around, and its branches at the top will go about 20 feet in all directions. So you now have taken this land and created this new thing here.
Okay. And Camiel would be shocked at first, looking around as though she's just committed some sort of crime, making sure that no one has noticed, even though it's very noticeable.
You would see Boltzmann looking at it as well with like surprise and wonder at what's just happened.
You see this kind of glow of green energy kind of pulse from the ground through the tree itself and then fade. And within just a moment of it being in existence, there's no trace of magic element to it. It looks like this tree, although not weathered or rough, it looks like it belongs there. It looks like it belongs, and it looks like it's a piece of the earth there.
She looks at Boltzmann, and for the first time in what may have, how many minutes have passed, she actually smiles at him like a child, as if to say thank you from afar. And she puts a hand on the trunk and says, "Stand strong," and slowly walk away and back to the party.
In the meantime, Boltzmann would be—he's probably there by the cart. He'd be staring at this tree. His eyes are wide open. His face, there's just this look of wonder in his face. Anybody close to him would hear him like mutter to himself, I expected something to happen, but nothing as beautiful as this. Amazing. Anyways, and he just looks around. He snaps out of it. Are we all good to go?
Yes, we're good to go. Delilah is at the back, and Emmy, you're keeping her company.
Absolutely. I've got a little bit of work I've got to do too.
I do see that. All right, well, I'll let you to it then. All right, Brad?
Yes?
Oh, there you are. You haven't spoken. I thought you disappeared.
No, I'll just take point. Bran kind of marches forward in front of the caravan, and he'll just isolate himself a bit.
And Camiel is like fixing her gauntlets and brushing off her armor, just watching him with a look of concern. And then her eyes slowly dart to Boltzmann, as if to say, "What happened?"
Yeah, Boltzmann would have probably already seen this once or twice before. This is something's going on. Obviously, Bran's head should we? Boltzmann would look back to Camiel and he just ask, well, should you want to talk to him, or he gestures to himself?
Well, that maybe now is not a good time to do so. Maybe later on, I'll see if I can strike up a conversation with him.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We've wasted enough time here.
Wasted
Smart.
hardly. We've learned so much.
Oh, Camiel just makes a pained face, like no.
Emmy, I share your curiosity, but please.
And she's just like, she's looking up at the tree.
Pain
at this
smile
new
as
60-foot
well.
tree.
Dante taking the cue
And
is
then
just like, oh, sorry, Gap.
No, she sees, she's looking up at the tree and then also over to Boltzmann because she was about to say something and then she sees the look on his face and she's like,
This pained smile.
Of course. Let's carry on. Lots to do.
Dante just takes the cue and just like, all right, clockwork, priest, let's go. And just gives him a bit of a little tap on the ass to get him going.
All right. So you guys continue to make your way south. You guys, it's about 2 days left as part of your journey to Roteberg. You guys continue southward. The one thing that you do notice is that as you guys are traveling south, you do start to see a few more parties. The road becomes a little bit more busy as you get closer to Roteberg. You do see a lot of horse and riders coming in and kind of passing you on the way. Once you get even closer at the end of the day, you see a little bit more foot traffic. You get to a town at the end of the day. Valor Point is the name of the town. And they do have an inn. You guys are able to kind of get set up in a regular fashion. There seems to be enough spaces for everyone. Is there anything that you guys want to do here?
Does it appear?
Go
on.
Sorry. No, I was going to ask if Alexander had a moment.
Yes, Emmy? Yeah, Boltzmann's just walking by beside the cart. And yeah, he'd be up for whatever conversation.
Are we at
You guys have made it through the day and are at Valor Point, and there's a tavern there. It's somewhat busy, but they do have enough. They have 3 rooms available.
3 rooms. We'll see about that. Okay. I had just a quick question for you. So, well, I noticed when we were, and I recognize now, there's, well, I know Camiel, and it seems Bran as well seems to have some kind of connection with, well, it didn't quite seem as, how do I phrase it? Chipper, I suppose. Obviously, it was a long day. It was a long night. But I didn't know if they had some kind of connection to that Fey creature, or is it just in general? Or y'all have known each other longer than I have, longer than any party I've ever traveled with.
Boltzmann, he thinks about it first, and then sorry. So what was it again? I'm sorry. I think my internet is breaking up right now. What was the question again?
She kind of didn't even get a question out. She was asking do they have some kind of connection? She just wants to know what's going on with those two. Like they both seem just very lost after the encounter.
Well,
And it's sort of telling of her that like she's obviously not as like crippled by what happened. It's not as devastating to her in her mind, I suppose. But for them, like it's very obviously like this hurt them a lot, it seemed.
Boltzmann crosses his arms and thinks about it for a bit. What to say? Well, first off, with Camiel, she's attuned to like nature and all that. And what happened there? What happened to the beauty of the place, shall we say, after the encounter? It's just Boltzmann. Once again, it's a very common thing. Boltzmann doesn't know how to express what he thinks. It's what happened there was he's just tapping the side of his head. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. I'm sorry. It's just
That's all right.
Yeah.
She definitely seems like she is attuned, and I just wanted to know a little more about y'all. Then they seemed like they could use some cheering up. Y'all's been together for longer, I suppose. I thought you might know.
I'd love to give an answer, but I don't think I'm at the position to, actually give any answer. Am I making sense? I'm sorry.
Yes, you're making perfect sense.
As for Bran, however, I've known him for quite some time. Well, as far as I can tell, those spirits he conjures, they're supposed to be, I don't know, connected with his past. One of them in particular, one of the spirits that appeared, it seems to be extremely connected to him, and I'm not quite sure how or what their connection is. I'm still going to find out.
Something divine, I'm sure. A different area of magic. All of it fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. But not one I get to, I suppose, indulge myself in. Well, I did have one other question. Well, something I noticed, something I observed. While we were facing off with the Batibat, I realized that, if I'm going to be traveling with y'all, then I certainly want to be able to pull my own weight, and I feel like, maybe there's more I could learn. And since I already know that you're also one for information and knowledge, and you seem to have a plethora of information, I just thought we'd finally have a chance to kind of share some of our resources. Switch, that's what I'm looking for.
And then Boltzmann's suddenly from being this shy looking person, he suddenly perks up. You're saying that you want to exchange notes?
Yes, of course, exactly.
And he smiles. I'd love to. It would be an honor. And he fumbles towards his bag of holding. He jams his first his hand and then his arm. And it's
He's just marveling.
Yes, he just he jams his whole arm like into the bag of holding, just trying to look for his journal. And finally, here it is. And then he pulls it out. If you want to, he already has his journal in his hands, and he shows it to you. You can. Or should we do this?
Here, and she pulls out her own grimoire, which is again that like very like sketchbooky, like
very
like
colorful.
teen girls, very colorful, yeah. And she opens it up and she shows like she's already started copying down the. I think you had already given her the scroll.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so she started copying down the enlarge reduce spell, which she shows to you. Like, see, I already started taking notes on the trip.
Ooh,
And then she shows off some of her, the very few of the lower level kind of spells she's written in there, and noting how few there are. So it's like, well, we can start at the beginning and make it nice and easy.
Boltzmann's just scanning the pages of your book right now. He's still just in the process of absorbing this new information. This is actually probably one of the few times that he's actually had the honor of actually studying an actual spell book with the person who owns the spell book.
Yeah.
and oh goodness,
she's kind of marveling too. Oh, sorry.
And Boltzmann's journal, in contrast with yours, is more organized. Not really organized, but it's it's drab. I guess it doesn't have any anything special by the looks of it. It's what you would imagine a university student's notebook. Some notes there, but all arranged in all taken down in a very neat and orderly manner. Most of them are just equations. Some of them diagrams to help out with visualizing those equations. And
so she starts so she's like pointing out things here and there, and she's noting those exact differences, like hers have like scribbles in the margins with like other little like arrows and notes and like hearts over the eyes kind of things, and it also has like otherwise it's very similar in that it has these big diagrams and explanations of how she came across certain types of magic and like how this spell fits into that. So like yeah, they're just like transferring and crisscrossing and comparing over some milk.
So I will say that you guys are able to work together and do this. When you guys are working together, I would say that it would take the same amount of time. So like when you transcribe a spell, like a wizard spell from a scroll to your spell book, it takes a certain amount of time depending on what level it is. When you're doing that with Boltzmann from an artificer spell into yours, so if you're taking from his notes and copying it into yours, I would say that it would take the same time if you're working with him. But if you were to take his, I would say that if you were to take his note and not, or like if you did like half of it together and then you had to do it half of it yourself, it would take you twice as long without his assistance, because you're taking artificer information, which is more the physical realm and engineering, along with the arcana. From just a pure arcane experience. So there will be some sort of transfer there. So I would say it would take you twice as long without his assistance, or the same amount of time with his assistant.
Sweet.
And vice versa.
That makes sense. And I think between the two of them, just like I feel like at least Emmy would be like lost in it for like the rest of the night. She wouldn't even think about like eating and maybe drinking, but like in general, just like just talking, discussing, copying, noting. Like that's what I plan to do for the night.
And also, while this is going on, Emmy, while you're flipping through the pages of Boltzmann's journal, a small piece of paper falls out from it, and falls to probably, I think we'd probably be at the table, and a small piece of paper, not really small, but a piece of paper would fall down onto the table. And
yeah.
I mean, you would probably
if it's there and it's part of the notes and it's like in her face, she'd look at it. It was just part of everything else.
Yeah, and when you look at it, it's a black and white image of a woman.
Oh.
And wait. At the back, since at the back there would be I would assume that DM that the back would be copied as well during the transfer.
The inscription is on the front.
Oh yeah, the inscription, yeah, and you would
It's in the
find
handouts.
yeah. What was?
Oh,
I
how
actually-
beautiful!
Yeah, there we go.
Did you draw this too?
Nah, I just found it somewhere. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and you would find that image over there. And that inscription at the front. Of all the unknowns in our world, I'm glad to have you as my constant. That's over there.
So she sees it, she picks it up, and she's
Boltzmann's still
immediately like fawning over it. Like it's lovely. That's some lovely poetry.
Boltzmann's still looking through your notes intently. He hasn't noticed any of that.
She'll kind of like she realized you didn't hear what she said, and she looks back at Alexander, and then looks back at the picture, and looks back at him again, and she kind of like slowly brings the picture in front of his eyes to interrupt like his looking, and she compliments it again. Like, did you draw this?
Boltzmann finally looks up. He was about to show you a sketch of whatever notes you have there in your book, and he pauses. Oh, no, I didn't. Did that fall from my? I'm sorry. Did that fall from my journal?
Seems so. It didn't come out of mine.
He like gestures that he'd want to take it from you. And, I didn't draw this. This is. He pauses. And you can see his shoulders like slump. This is a copy of something important. May I please have it?
Well, of course, it's yours after all.
Thank you. And
No
he takes
friend?
He takes it. He stares at it at first. You can see like a smile creep up on his face, and he looks towards you. Somebody important to me. And he hides the photo inside his coat.
It's good to have people who are important to you.
Yeah.
If they're far off.
Then he looks down. He's now making eye contact. He just nods. Yeah, important. And anyways,
You
so,
were about to show me something?
Yes. Of course. Then he just continues showing the parts of your journal, asking about it.
Yeah. And she'll gladly go on. Just she when she mentioned like, you know, it's good to have you know, someone important wherever they are or whatever. It's like one of the few times I think that her voice wasn't just on like automatic of just like chipper, good at high experience, like feel good kind of thing. It actually like sounds normal for a moment, but when they go back to the spells and transferring spells and showing things, it's like right back up to that high energy kind of sound.
I think that's just gonna be Emmy and Boltzmann nerding out with each other's notes. I wonder how the others are doing. I'm sorry.
Nerd RP is done.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do here in Valor Point?
Does there appear to be a marketplace of some kind here?
Very small. This seems to be just like a pass-through town. There's a small marketplace, and it's late, but you could probably check and see if they have something. What are you looking for?
Can Camille come?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna purchase anything. I was just asking on behalf of the group. I personally don't. I'm just asking because like people need arrows for their quivers or shot for their weapons. Like Dante with his pistol, I know he used it recently.
I got shot off.
I was actually about to ask as well. I was actually about to ask if there is a market with maybe a blacksmith or a farrier.
You guys got there later in the day because you guys had a later start, so you got there later in the day. Anything that you saw would have been closed by the time you got there, so there doesn't seem to be anything active when you pulled in.
Okay, well, Saoirse would make a note of it for the morning, depending on when they decide to hit the road, and see if they're open before they leave.
Yeah, you do know you're close to Roteberg, and you know that anything and everything can be found in Roteberg. So if not here, there. Yeah, but anything else anyone wants to do this evening?
Dante's. Are we staying here? This is our little stopover?
It's nighttime, unless you guys want to drive through the night.
Did we want to stay at an inn tonight, friends?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been through quite an ordeal, so I think they deserve a bit of rest, proper rest.
Wonderful.
What does the rooming situation look like?
Well, yeah, Dante was going to go and find the nearest inn and sort out rooms for everybody.
Yeah, it's a little bit busy, so there are 3 rooms available at this tavern.
What do we have? 6 of us now. Dante doesn't get his own room anymore. Only the 3?
Yes, because of the increased traffic going to Roteberg, and because of King's Battle coming, there's a lot more traffic than there normally would be.
You know what? Dante would grab the 3 rooms for everybody, and then he would find hopefully a stall for the horses. Is there somewhere safe that we can put them? Do you have anywhere to keep them?
Yeah, for 6 gold, you can find food for your horse's room and the 3 rooms for the night.
Yep. Does the where are the horses kept? Is there like a hayloft or anything like that?
Yeah, it's pretty small. The tavern is right across the street. There's like a barn. It's actually just somebody that owns it. Not usually rented, but they do have spots that you can just rent the slot for the night for the horses.
Yep. So does the innkeeper organize that?
Mm-hmm.
Or is the
he said he'll take care of it if you just give him the 6 gold, and he'll give you the 3 rooms and take care of the horses for the evening.
Yep. Dante will actually ask, assuming nobody else is there. Like I think the idea was he just took off to go sort everything out. Assuming. He'll ask for like another gold. Is there space in the hayloft above for somebody to sleep for the night? I'm not really interested in sharing at the moment.
Yeah, he says that'd be fine. He wouldn't even charge you an extra gold for it. You could just if you wanted to sleep in the wagon, there's a space there that you keep track of your animals if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll give him 7 gold anyway.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And food and a table. And he plops down 10 gold and drinks, and so in not the 7, he plops down an actual 10 gold, and just asks for a space for 6 to eat, drink, and be slightly merry.
Yeah, he gladly accepts your money, and he actually there's one person that's sitting on a larger table that seems to be like a local, and he goes and chases him out and lets you guys sit down.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And he does sound tired. But he'll go back and grab everybody else and let them know that there's a space. We have 3 rooms. We have a table, and we have some food, and we have whatever else we want. Let's go relax. I'll see to the horses, or at least I'll find somebody to see to the horses in the cart. If you all want to go inside, relax. And Dante will...
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh, speaking of stables, DM, what is the... Would you say that Addie is at that point where she can't fit in a in a room anymore?
She's not that size. She's hard to pick up and you can control in that space, and she definitely is starting to freak more people out. No longer this dog size thing. It's a much bigger issue
dog.
with people.
So would she be able to rest in the room itself, or would she need to stay in the stables?
It would probably be a better idea to stay in the stables.
All right. So
from what
Bran will follow Dante to sadly keep Addie in the stables along with the 2 donkeys.
There better still be 2 donkeys in the morning.
Bran. Sure. I'm imagining like one of those Tibetan sheepdogs, like those huge ones that...
Yep.
Mastiff.
Mastiff.
You sure he can't squeeze in with you and Boltzmann?
I mean, look at her. Bran kind of gestures to Addie, who is probably up to his waist at this point.
Okay, fine.
Don't worry, just... Bran kind of fetches a bit of sausages from his bag of infinite sausage holding, and he kind of thrusts it into Dante's hands. Just feed her these, and your donkey should be fine.
He'll take the sausages.
Oh, and Bran kind of also pulls out a well worn leather glove. And be sure to wear these. She kind of bites.
I didn't plan on using my hands. I was going to throw them at her. As he's chewing on one of the sausages. I'll take care of it, Bran. It's fine.
All right. Just let me know if she causes any trouble.
That's right. Addie and I get on very well.
You 2 can bond.
Exactly. I am coming back for a drink. You do realize I'm not staying here.
Oh, I understand, but I do realize you will be out here later on.
Do I tie her down?
No.
You do see Eddie kind of crawl up on one side of the wagon away from the opening, closer to the driver's side, and just kind of flop down and curl up and kind of lay her head down.
Now she's taking my spot. We go. Now she's taking my spot, Bran.
That's gonna be her new nest.
Fine. Dante will throw one of the sausages at her, and then
he snaps it out of the air.
All right. Fine.
That's vicious beast.
Look at that. She's cute.
She's very cute, Bran. She suits you perfectly.
Bran takes that as a compliment.
As it should. Alright, once he's seen to the horses, he'll make Bran help while he's there, by the way, and keep an eye on Addie and make sure she sits down. And then, head back to the inn. Time to get you a big glass of milk, Bran.
And to that, Bran will make his way to the bar and order himself his classic tankard of milk and ask the bartender if there is a stash of peanuts.
Damn it.
Something to chew on.
He does not have peanuts. He does have these hard breadsticks, almost cracker-like but thin, kind of rolled. They kind of keep longer. He has the big pile of those on the table.
Bran kind of eyes the breadsticks, and he kind of nods his head. Well, it's better than nothing. And he will accept the breadsticks in place of his peanuts.
Camille will sneak up behind him and kind of snatch the breadstick out of his hand. This looks delicious.
It's bread, Camille.
Ooh, I haven't had bread in a very long time. She sits herself down. So, we getting a tall glass of milk? Are we?
You see that Bran is basically nursing this large tankard filled with milk. Yes. He will set aside a tankard on the far end of the table for Boltzmann as well.
Thanks, Bran.
You know what? I shall get myself a tall glass of milk too. Is it fresh milk?
Yes.
There you go. Well, so Bran, and she kind of lazily sticks the breadstick into her mouth. Are you okay?
You notice that Bran seems to be less shaken than previously since the caravan took its trip. He seems a bit more focused, a bit you sort of see that grizzled look in his eye again, very familiar. But there is almost a wince of emotion when you mention if he's okay. And he kind of looks up at Camille and shrugs his shoulders.
Wait, you're not even going to tell me, Camille, I'm completely fine. And she kind of leans her head towards him. I'm fine.
Bran
No?
starts to wrap his fingers against the tankard nervously, as if trying to find the right words. Did you see anything, Camille? Back at the den of the Fae.
Camille leans towards the bar and completely ignores the breadstick at this point. She had taken one bite and that was about it. And her brows furrow and she blinks. Well, she closes her eyes. Right, I didn't really see anything, Branimir. I was focused on the thing. I don't know. Okay, so here's what I remember. I just remember fighting, and it was over, and you were not you. What did you see?
Bran kind of chuckles a little bit, almost as if to confirm unspoken suspicions. I must have been crazy then.
Well, you're only crazy if you keep it to yourself.
Is Boltzmann anywhere nearby? Is he at the table?
I was about to ask as well.
Yeah.
Where I think the both of you are having this conversation at the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Boltzmann hearing this conversation, yeah, he would actually slightly. Would he be able to hear this conversation?
Yeah. I mean, you've been back and forth between the spell stuff, but this would have perked your interest enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like he would like lower the MU spell book. He would actually look towards Bran with tilt his head. You know, he now also has a milk mustache on his lips. You can see him like looking, you know, curious. Yeah. Yeah. What did happen, Bran? I'm sorry to intrude, but What did happen?
That's what I'm asking. Did you see anything, Boltzmann?
Boltzmann. Wait, that's the first question. Yeah. To me, Boltzmann would have been looking around everywhere while in the heat of the battle. He would be looking, making sure that everybody's doing okay. And DM, would you say that I would have been able to clearly see?
Yeah, due to the size and nature of this thing, you definitely were able to see some details. Presumably, the details of the shape, this big, large kind of spirit that had been summoned, with angel-like wings and luminescent and kind of transparent wings.
It was it a woman?
It was the shape of a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember if you were facing it or it was facing
was
away
hooded.
from.
Oh,
so it was hooded. So yeah, you don't have much detail, but you definitely did see a female form with large angel wings.
Boltzmann, he's tapping, his temple and thinking. And then he would give out that description to Bran.
It must have been Camille, right?
Camille was right in front of me. Was she behind that tree? She was behind the tree. Yeah. That couldn't have been Camille. Bran
just starts kind of massaging his scalp with his fingers as he just runs his fingers through his hair. I've got to be crazy.
Camille.
I'm losing my mind.
Bran, if there's anybody who's going insane here, it's most likely going to be me. So if you keep on saying that, however, that is going to come true.
Boltzmann.
No, I'm sorry.
Camille looks at him and gives him a shake of the head, no.
I'm sorry, but I digress. What's so special about it, Bran? What do you think was it?
You see the smile sort of fade from Bran's face as he let his thoughts sink in a bit deeper. I thought I saw someone I knew.
You can see Boltzmann just lean in a bit more forward, and you can see his hands making that gesture, go on. And he's just waiting if there's anything else that you're going to say.
I mean, nothing's certain. I mean, I don't know how much of a good look you had, but whatever it was hooded. There was no telling who or what it was, but it seemed familiar, When you can see somebody in a crowd, and you only see their silhouette, and you can immediately tell who they are. It was that feeling.
Who did you think it was? Branimir. Camille puts a hand on his arm, his forearm. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. But if I may just ask, does this have anything to do with what we talked about?
You visibly see Bran's jaw clench. But he doesn't say a word.
Camille looks at Boltzmann and kind of gives him a just a look of as if telling him that it's serious. that maybe it's not good to pry right now because it's affecting him. It's visibly affecting Branimir.
Boltzmann's already seen this before. Yeah, he just nods. Given that, he leans back into his seat and takes a deep breath and starts to get back into reading. Reading Emmy's journal.
Camille watches as he does so, and she turns back to Bran. I'm sorry that you had to witness such a thing. You're not losing your mind.
Bran bows his head and kind of gazes into his tankard of milk.
Just so you know, even I saw some things back there. Things that made my blood boil a little bit. Made me a little reckless. They're just some things that you just can't let go, I suppose. That's why I never noticed anything.
There are just some things that I thought I left buried.
Nothing's ever going to stay buried.
Bran just proceeds to munch on some breadsticks and wash it down with the rest of his milk.
And she does the same, as if doing it in unison with Bran.
And I have and I would assume that there would be still some bread in that whatever plate or so, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and as both of you are just drinking from it, one of the bread sticks suddenly flings itself from the plate across the table and towards Boltzmann. You can see that he catches the breadstick. His glove is glowing a bit. You know this that Boltzmann usually does this with his tools, where he just picks them up from a fair distance. You can see him now just doing this with a breadstick.
Jesus. I mean, Ava's left hand. Why couldn't you just reach over?
Boltzmann's just still staring at the book. He catches your expression. Who's what? Anyways, no, just efficiency. And he proceeds to bite into the breadstick.
Camille just
Bran kind of pushes the basket towards Boltzmann. It's right here, Boltzmann. There are other ways to impress Emmy.
And Boltzmann swallows.
Is that out loud?
Oh yeah. Bran says
wonderful.
it loud and clear.
And he's totally just giggling as she's continuing to. She's been listening to the whole conversation, but also just finishing copying, and she just giggles.
No, and what, Bran? No, I mean, and then he looks towards Emmy. I mean, no, not no. Screw you, Bran. And as he stares back at the book, he smacks his lip. This is dry bread. And Boltzmann looks at the sad piece of dried bread. He looks towards Emmy. Emmy, wait, Emmy. I have a quick question. I've always been curious. And you can see there's this almost goofy smile on Boltzmann. I heard that there's this cantrip for that wizards usually know. Something. Prestidigitation? Question mark? Something like that. Do you know it? I mean-
I know it. Yes. Is it perfectly copied into my grimoire for someone brand new like yourself to copy down?
No,
Not per se,
No.
but
That's not my point. No, because I've always been curious. One of the effects is it could change certain aspects. And he catches him. Yeah, right. Like was it changing smell and changing color? Was it? Right?
yes. But there's a number of different types of spells that can do something like that. And Emmy casts thaumaturgy, and the lights in the flames in the tavern start to flicker this assortment of like rainbow colors.
Because here's the thing, I've heard like jokes among some wizards that I used to know. Can you change this bread's flavor? And after saying that out loud, his smile just suddenly disappears, and then he catches himself realizing how ridiculous his question sounds.
It's all right.
He looks around.
Besides, and she takes the bread. She takes the piece of bread from him and kind of tosses it aside anyway. She's like, "Don't worry about it anyway. Bread makes you fat." And then she goes back to copying the spell.
Bread makes you fat?
It's true.
Camille looks at the breadstick. No.
Oh, it's
Brand
true,
simply
my friend.
taps his stomach.
And Armor and Boltzmann's all still munching, like taking another bite of the bread. I mean, anything. Anything in excess could make you whatever. Anything in excess could make you gain weight. But whatever. I'm just. And he's now back. He just slinks back into reading the journal, the spell book.
As she's continuing to copy that, she's just like, "I had plenty of those sausages. They ain't made me fat yet."
Yeah.
Although I suppose I should watch out. And but her eyes like never leave. Her eyes never leave like her page, her scroll.
Concentrated on reading.
Anything else you guys want to do this evening?
Nothing in particular.
What's the arrangement for sleeping?
That is a very good question.
Shit.
Well,
how many rooms did we say we had?
3.
3, and Dante has decided to bunk in the wagon with the owlbear.
Yeah, he didn't really tell anybody that.
Yeah, cuddling with the owlbear.
Aw.
Dante didn't tell anybody about who's cuddling with the owlbear.
Dante,
You're donkeys.
Yeah, you are.
You didn't tell anybody that?
No, I didn't tell
sorry.
anybody. No, that's okay. I was just going to say I didn't tell anybody that until people decided to start walking off. Dante would have been trying to keep Delilah entertained. Nothing too vulgar or anything like that, unless she eggs him on. I'm just saying. Wood on the fire. You just can't. You can't do that. But once everyone starts leaving, he'd suggest or probably grab Camiel or suggest that maybe she stay in the room with Delilah.
Okay.
Suggest maybe.
Wait, sure.
That way the two girls, two guys. And then he was pretty much once everyone he sorted everybody out, he'd turn around and go straight back into the bar and decide to do his best at having a little fun.
Bar's pretty. It's packed, but it's slim pickings. A lot
That's
of
all right.
not a lot of.
No. He doesn't have to have fun that way. He doesn't have to have fun that way. Come on.
I didn't say anything about that.
Come on. Dante's a wholesome man. He wants to go out and have some fun, which means drinking and singing and doing stuff like that.
Singing?
Oh no, he's waited till everybody's going to bed.
Oh, dang it.
And then he's going to start on all these like little bawdy songs and try and get the crowd going.
Okay. So Camiel is going to be staying with Delilah.
Emmy mentions that in general, she normally she says that she's a very light sleeper, has a lot of trouble sleeping with other people too nearby. Is there if there was any way she could have a space to herself, or if that was entirely out of the question?
I think Saoirse, when Emmy brings this up, Saoirse would look to her and she would just nod and say, "You can have the room to yourself if you'd like. If that's easier, I can find accommodations."
Are you sure?
Oh, of course. I'm
thank
I'm not even ready to go to bed just yet.
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. Well, thank you. I'm going to be up a little while anyway. I've got this one other. Oh, my goodness. Have you ever seen Alexander's journal? That thing is amazing. It's one other thing I'm copying down before I head to bed. But thank you so much.
Oh, of course. And yes, I've seen bits and pieces of his journal, and it's definitely interesting.
Isn't it? And she starts to like ramble for a couple of minutes before the conversation kind of like peters itself out. She's just like rambling about this or that.
Saoirse's slowly inching back. That sort of. I don't want to be rude, but I'm trying to indicate that I'll let you get back to what you're doing. And then actually, she might say, "Well, why don't I let you get back to copying and enjoying yourself?"
Yeah, she very clearly doesn't pick up on all the social cues when she's excitable.
If it's okay with Delilah, Saoirse can stay with Camiel and Delilah.
If Camiel offered, Saoirse would accept. She'd say, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I can sleep on the floor or something. I'm whatever."
Oh no! I would sleep on the floor. You take the bed. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's whatever sounds good to you. That's completely fine with me. Assuming there's more than one bed. We'll find out.
I'll make a little nest somewhere on the floor. It's fine.
Well, works for me. And I'll be up shortly, so whenever I'll be sure not to make too much noise when I come in.
Oh, it's fine.
You'll have no arguments from me. Boltzmann and I pretty much share the same room anyways.
As usual.
It is the way.
You guys
Be sure to check out page 83. He does the doodles there.
Fran. Boltzmann looks up and it's like thinking, did I leave those doodles there? No, I didn't. No, of course I didn't.
Are they
Anyway.
inappropriate doodles, Boltzmann?
No.
Sorry, that was Dante laughing, by the way.
In the distance, you can hear him laughing. In the distance.
Boltzmann's doodling inappropriate doodles of Bran and Dante.
I imagine there's a page.
Wink, wink.
I imagine there's a page that looks exactly like Ryan's tweet, but it's written on the back of one of the pages.
And the barbarian bodies and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Chainmail thongs and everything.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yeah, the-
geez.
Flying dinosaurs.
They're-
and-
they're-
Where are these
um,
doodles again? Remind me.
Bro, you just
Page 83.
Emmy, you would switch. You would flip to that page there, and you would see there are indeed drawings of chainmail thongs, whatever.
Oh,
Then,
100%.
there would be notes there at the
Tactical,
bottom.
of course. Tactical thongs.
100%. Boltzmann is not getting that one back. She would keep that one for sure.
Then there are notes. They're like notes there at the bottom. What is this? Why do people wear this? What is
Tactical
the point?
reasons.
What's the? Well, then
Should-
it's like a
just said
half page full
chafing.
of. It's like a half page full of just Boltzmann like talking crap about it.
What happens when hair gets caught in it?
Oh god! Don't even. Oh, dude. Thinking about
Be like,
it.
this needs to be analyzed.
you guys are
Just see an
able.
anecdote. Oh. Must investigate further.
Let the DM talk, goddammit!
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you guys are able to continue your conversation about chainmail thongs and anything else that comes around. You guys have your rooms ready for the evening and all situated in spots. You guys eventually end your conversations, make your ways to your rooms. A few of you have a couple of interesting dreams. Not so much full visions as I've explained before. Dante, you sleep this evening, and almost a carbon copy of what you had seen the previous evening. Not so much of the Batibat, but after that, the second dream that you had, more peaceful, but still just a combination of the females in your life and almost a way to respond in your own mind to the Batibat dream that you had. When you do wake up, you do feel reminded of all the visions of what you've seen, and do feel this kind of almost confused why you're still considering these things, why now that you continue to have this same dream, somewhat confused about that.
Yes.
Bran, you sleep. And when you sleep, you have a small dream, a quick flash of a dream. For an instant, you are in a wheat field, surrounded by the sway and the movement of not just the wind and the surroundings, but you feel the presence of the uplifter as it kind of flows through this field and flows through you. For a moment, you see a slow fade of this hooded figure again, not revealing its face, but physical form, the same that you saw it in the cavern below, and again slowly fade away. Not able to interact, not able to do anything but look and watch. And you awake and you feel somewhat confused as to why we're having this interaction again, but more you feel at ease, that you hadn't felt. You were kind of awed and dismayed almost because of the shock value of it. This time when you experience this again, it's almost calming in a way to confirm that this was something that was legitimate that you saw, and was reminding you of its connection to you. Camille, you have a dream where you are simply flying. You looking down over desert. Typically, when you've had this dream before, you fly over pyramids and visit, but this time you're simply flying, almost aimlessly. You fly over desert, and you continue flying. You flying over forest, flying over ocean. You continue to fly as you kind of take a moment to no longer look at the space around you and the land and the material around you. You look at yourself. You don't see your own body, but you see this kind of red glow that kind of surrounds you. Your entire body has this kind of red glow. The body does not seem like your own form. It seems different. It has this reddish glow. And at the ends, where it kind of extends, you see it kind of fade out into almost a star mist kind of a drift at the ends. You look closer and you try to get a deeper realization, try to see exactly what this form is, and when you do, you awaken in your room. And with that, you guys are able to meet the day. Everyone has a full rest. Resetting hit points.
Yay.
And spells.
Yes, give me my spell slots.
Hells yes. Oh yeah, and as the day starts, DM, Boltzmann would take note of the position. Would you say that this is sunrise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, a little bit after, but yeah.
Yeah, Boltzmann would take note of the position of the sun at this point. If anybody else would notice this, it's I would imagine this as Boltzmann trying to mimic Saoirse's gestures or whatever Saoirse does whenever she's trying to get the lay of a land, a lay of the land whenever they're off adventuring in the wilderness. Yeah, and then
mimic her survival patterns.
Just taking note of the position of the sun, since I'm just adding flavor to. I did take up a certain feat. DM. Is it effective right now? Where we are right now?
Yeah, you guys did level up last, so anything that you have extends into today. So level 8, you guys are all level 8.
So I just put flavor to being able to accurately know when sunrise and sunset is.
Yeah, you take a beat and you realize that you've always had a good understanding and kind of a good memory of things, and you find yourself kind of thinking back on the previous day, and you've realized that you're more acutely aware of detail than you ever have been in the past. Even the smallest details of the previous evening of the breadstick and the milk and things seem to be more richly ingrained in your thoughts. So all these little details continue to stick. You look out into the sun and marking it in your mind almost exactly what time it is. So yes.
Yeah. With that, Boltzmann's just gonna nod, smile to himself. It's like, hey, it's a new achievement. And pleased with himself, he just goes back inside, meets with the others to have their usual morning time whatever rituals.
Yep. Valor point to Roteberg. It's about another day. If you'll probably have to spend one day out again, unless you push through and kind of take it a little bit harder. It's up to you guys how you wish to travel.
So,
by cut?
Yeah, if you guys want to try to push it, go a little bit faster and not have so much perception to be able to watch what's happening, or would you rather take it slow and go normally and not have any of those issues?
Are we expecting this? We don't have a time frame here, do we? Like we're not.
Nope. No, but the people that have been around this area, so Saoirse and definitely Boltzmann, know this area fairly well. They've passed through, especially Roteberg. Boltzmann is pretty familiar with Roteberg, having spent time being aware of it, not really living there, but being around it a lot and having it be a kind of a focal point and a meeting point of Crown's Guard activity. Saoirse somewhat, but was more kind of isolated in her own Vanguard realm, knows of Roteberg and has been there before, but probably not spent a whole lot of time there. They know that it's probably only about a day away. You can either push through and get there late tonight, or you can take it easy and get there tomorrow afternoon.
Dante would ask, what are the guards like? Like, are they open and welcoming to people who come at late hours, or do they have a tendency to scrutinize and turn people away? If that's the case, then we probably should just hold up somewhere along the trail if there isn't a place to stop, like another inn. But if they welcome people with open arms late at night, then Dante's happy to push through. He gives
and Boltzmann and Saoirse, you would both know that Roteberg is almost like the second metropolis. I mean, Soderham and Sohir, that being the biggest city in all of Tribus, Roteberg being the second biggest. It is it's fairly big, and especially the central district, where most of the inns, most of the activities happen, is a pretty bustling place pretty much at all hours. There are downtimes, but it is a big city with a lot of activity and a lot of people at all times.
Would the security there, the border security or whatever, just like would it be just like in Soderham, where you'd be, frisked and have
branded?
No,
Yeah.
this is far less. The reason that is because of the noble and the king. The nobles and the king. If Soderham is this kind of protected walled city with all the elites, Roteberg is much open. It's far less oppressive in its control over its citizens. It's a working class Crown's Guard type of a town where it doesn't have the same airs that Soderham does. So it's far more. There are rich and elites, but they're far more down to earth and far more integrated in society than protected and isolated.
It's pompous brats back at. Anyways, Boltzmann would relay that information to Dante, but then he would add, "But are we in a hurry? Because if so, I think we should just take our time."
Bran would turn to Delilah and kind of raise a quizzical brow in her direction.
I mean, are we? Then Boltzmann would look towards Delilah as well.
What do you think of your betrothed, Delilah?
Well, the sooner the better. I'm not quite sure when the start date is. I think we still have a couple of days, but I'd like to get there as soon as possible. If it causes no trouble with you.
Well, if I had to give my point, I would prefer to take things slow. Considering our journeys these past few days, I'd rather we be safe than sorry.
Understandable. It's no problem. Okay. So you guys take off from Valor Point, continue through much of the day, get closer to evening, and you guys do find a spot. There are bits of civilization here and there, but you guys find a spot that's kind of removed away from people. Do again similarly than the previous day, the 2 nights previous. Find a spot off the road, seemingly a little bit safe and a little bit protected from being visible too much. And you guys are able to make camp in a similar fashion as you had done previous.
Yay. And DM. Boltzmann would like to take some time during the rest to go out into a clearing, rather with some distance away from the party, and tinker with the arrow that he purchased a few days ago. Was it just yesterday? 2 days ago.
2 days now?
Yeah, it's been 2 days. Yeah. Would he have the time and space for that?
Would, if you guys are taking it easy, then you definitely would have some time. You can find a field very easily, and are able to spend some time doing that.
Yes.
I forget what I had you roll before to be able to see how much progress you've made.
It was a roll with intelligence with the tinkering tools.
Yeah.
And just before he leaves, he'd probably, whomever is keeping watch for the night, he would just he would let them know first that I'm going to be doing something, an experiment. I'll be a few feet away. So if something happens, just try to help me out. And then
you see Bran. Oh, sorry.
I don't know who would be keeping watch. Probably, if Bran is out there, then he'd tell Bran the same thing that
food.
Yeah, and he'd walk away and plop down to the ground, arrange his things, pull out Barnabas even, to be ready to protect him with its shield. And Boltzmann will go on to tinker with the high explosive arrow. Shall I roll now, DM?
Yeah, go ahead and make a tinker tool check.
With intelligence. Ooh. First roll of the night, baby! Ooh, juicy. That is 29.
Wow. Okay. So you are able to kind of you're basically just trying to figure out exactly how this works, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say that you would be able to, with this high of a roll, you would be able to have kind of a breakthrough in this. Where previously, the last time that you tried this, you were hesitant and anxious about the effects that it could cause in the short term. You kind of push that aside this time and kind of think clearly about what's happening and why it's happening and the different components to this piece. And you're able to figure it out fairly well, and are able to diagram this with some fair certainty that you know exactly what the process is and what components are active in this process.
Yeah, Boltzmann would reach into his bag of holding and pull out his journal, and then he would realize, is it his journal or is this Emmy's?
No, Emmy would definitely take her journal back.
Oh, all right. I forgot
She's
to
very
ask.
protective of that bad boy.
Yeah. Boltzmann would take out his journal and take notes as well. And with that, concluding that he will take one last look at this deconstructed ammunition laid out in front of him neatly, and he would put it back together as it was and keep it safely inside his bag of holding. And after that, he would go. Excuse me?
Yeah, I said you're definitely able to do that.
All right. I thought you said you're gonna have to roll for that. Well, what?
No.
And he would move back towards the camp.
Inside the bag of holding, you hear a
It's a nuclear explosion. Reacts with everything else inside it. So yeah.
Nope, you're good.
Coconut.
Cloud pops up. Oh no, the coconut.
The
No,
coconut.
not the coconut.
Boltzmann.
No.
You
It's
have...
everything's safe there.
We have to
As far as I remember.
Yep. This is where
go
we have
like
to derail the
Yeah,
quest.
the entire
we have to
campaign.
go all the way back to Ujat just to get the coconut. What have you done?
Oh man,
That's
as
like
far
an
as I
adventure.
remember, there's still a skull in there, coming from some eldritch creature that somebody snuck in there. I don't know who.
It's been converted into a pot for the coconut.
Jeez. Yeah, you're probably right.
On post.
Anyways, yeah, Boltzmann walks back to camp. You know, he's up and happy with himself. You see this pleased look in his face. It's like one would mistake that he took an extremely pleasurable dump in the woods. And yeah, that's just him.
Very lovely description, thank you.
I was gonna say
Yes,
that's an excellent.
That's
Just
exactly.
imagining
That's
a
Boltzmann
heck of a
with the
dump.
biggest grin on his face,
Yeah, exactly.
scratching his ass as he walks out of the forest.
Bran, did you want to cook this evening?
I would like to try my hand at it.
Boltzmann's emptied himself, so he's good to
Sure,
go.
what you doing?
Yeah, Bran would squint his eyes at Boltzmann as he sees this suspicious grin on Boltzmann's face, like as if
Boltzmann just squats down by the crisscross applesauce by the fire.
Tighten his belt back up.
Bran
He
has
just looks
no
towards
idea.
you.
He has to leave things to his imagination
Yeah,
as to what because as elusive as Boltzmann is about what he does in his free time, he has to put two and two together and try to figure out what Boltzmann does out in the forest all by himself. In the meantime, Bran is going to see if he can make some potato pancakes tonight.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, oh boy.
That'll make me hungry for real, though.
Well, let's see. Let's see how bad my roll is tonight. Hey, 21.
Wow.
21.
That's not bad. Made some delicious potato pancakes.
Delicious potato pancakes are made and served. Yeah.
Yeah, you see Bran looking through this this cookbook, this very small cookbook. He's kind of squinting at the writings within as he almost expertly at this point flips the pancake from the cast iron pan that he has up in the air and catches it. He's trying his best to distract himself as much as possible.
Camiel is she's somewhere, and then she pops up, smelling that beautiful scent in the air. The cooking, not the dumping. And
There was no dumping involved.
she
You don't know that.
We don't know that.
she immediately walks over to Bran and sits her ass close and watches him like a child, like an absolute child, with her legs crossed and everything, and she's just staring at him. What you making?
Bran kind of glances over at Camiel for a moment as he notices that she's been practically staring at him uncomfortably for a couple of minutes. He kind of glances in her direction and looks back at his book. You never had pancakes before, Camiel?
A what?
Pancake.
I know what a pan is, and I think I know what the cake is, but I don't know what a pancake is.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, a pan is relatively flat, right?
Yes.
And the pancake itself is relatively fluffy. Hence the cake.
Is it good?
Well, according to this cookbook, I use potatoes.
You can make cakes out of potatoes?
Apparently.
Oh, is it almost done?
And the brand kind of like turns the pan a little bit so that the smoke kind of sizzles underneath his nose, and he takes a good whiff of it, and I'd say that it would be finished by then.
May
You
I
kinda
please
sniff?
have some?
Yeah, and he would deftly turn the pan over a plate, like a tin plate, and hand it over to Camille.
And she happily accepts it, and she looks at it. She's never seen this thing before, so she's just staring at this, and she takes a sniff, and she looks up at him, and there's a big grin on her face, and she's like, "It looks so good."
Well, I'm glad you like it, Cam.
I got to taste it first. It looks, and she takes a slice, puts it in her
Presentation?
mouth. Presentation looks. Presentation looks so good. I don't want to touch it, but it's food, so I suppose I should eat it.
Well, give it a go.
And she forks the slice into her mouth. And the moment that the taste hits, she gives him a bright-eyed look, and she's like,
Anything missing?
"No, this is delicious."
And
Oh
to
my
that, you see like a wide grin appear on Bran's face, something that you haven't seen recently.
Where's everyone else? They need to taste this. Oh, but I have to share. I don't want to share. I'll take this with me. Thank you, Brad. And she goes back into the woods to eat it by herself.
It goes into a tree, like a little squirrel with her nuts.
Like a little squirrel.
Yeah, she's hiding it in her cheeks, storing it for the next few days. But yeah, everyone else in the party is free to come out and grab some pancakes if they are feeling a bit peckish.
Oh my god, pancakes? And Dante will just like short of push other people out. He wouldn't push other people away, but he might just slightly just work his way in front of other people who are trying to get to the pancakes first. Just to grab some. Do we have any syrup?
On potato pancakes?
Yes, Bran? Well, that was the question. I didn't
Well,
I didn't need you
They say salty and sweet things, complement one another, I believe.
Bran kind of like scratches his chin and actually writes that down in the book. Kind of adds like a little anecdote in his horrible handwriting, and he kind of writes down, "Salt complements sweet." And then Bran kind of nods at Saoirse. "Thank you, Saoirse. I'll take that into account."
Dante's still standing there with his pancakes.
Happy to help.
Is there
Also, it's just
any syrup?
Well, actually, I don't know if that counts as like. I don't know, DM. Do I have any?
You probably don't have
Like,
something like pancake syrup. Maple syrup would probably not be around, but you probably do have some honey that you can put it on.
Dante's going to stand his ground on this one.
Okay. Hey. I mean, maybe if I can count on Saoirse to identify some
If
sort
it's
of
honey.
tree.
A maple
if there's some sort of tree nearby that I could. Yeah, I'd tap it. Damn right.
I
Yeah.
tap that.
I'd tap the tree.
I'd tap a tree, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're
You're an
thinking
artificer
about
with tools.
really going in for the whole druid.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah,
Rough,
Saoirse just taps on a
Smooth
tree. Yep, this got maple in it.
Like, I think she would. It's like, well, if you want her to find a maple tree, assuming maple trees exist in Tribus, she'd be pulling down leaves, looking at the leaves. Okay, that's got 5. Is that a sugar maple, red maple? Oh yeah, that's a sugar maple.
Not a lot of maple trees in this. It's much more plains area. A lot of oak and birch and stuff like that. Thanks to my...
birch syrup. Yeah, you can make syrup out of birch sap.
Oh, there you go. Thanks to my
Yay.
Valhalla experiments to know what trees
It's
are
gonna
where.
take a while.
No, Val.
Okay. That's okay. I'll eat my potato pancakes without any sort of syrup.
No.
I would,
Brand will
I would
stop you.
say, I would say that you would definitely have some honey that you could
There
put
we
on there,
go.
which would be
Yeah.
a nice substitute for the.
Can Bran conjure food in water? Syrup might count as one.
Wait.
Who do I talk about the syrup for my pancakes?
Let me check.
Oh my god.
No, I can
Bran
only
has now
purify.
become Uber Eats.
Oh dang.
I can only purify it, so I can make sure that it's nice and clean for your mouth.
Oh my.
I hate to interrupt
Sorry?
this food RP, but let's go ahead and stop there. You guys can finish your meals for the evening, and you guys are able to take a long rest. And let's take a break. Before we go to break, I'd like to say some thank yous in the chat. Definitely have some support I want to call out tonight. Surely Only Mike, thank you for your sub with your Prime. Muggs McGinnis, thank you for the follow. Noxious Nerd, thank you for the follow and participate in chat. Darth Tolin is going crazy in chat, gifting left and right. Thank you so much for all of your support there. It is very much appreciated. We thank you very, very much.
Insane.
It's insane. It's amazing.
You legend.
And then Rookley411, thank you for the follow yesterday as well.
Hey, Rook.
Yeah,
You definitely get a potato pancake.
everybody,
I am
Potato
craving
cake.
some potato pancakes right now.
potato pancakes all around. Let's go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be back to follow up. And as we head south towards Roteberg, maybe actually finally get to Roteberg.
Hell yeah!
Hey.
Dante's.
What was that
about
Let's
Dante's?
take another side trip.
It
Yeah.
why
only
not?
took like 3 months.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
we're taking a break.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. We are back. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, everyone, going us in chat. So you guys are able to continue. Wake up the next day, and it is not a very hard journey at all from where you guys are to Roteberg proper. As I kind of said before, Roteberg is kind of different than the other big cities here in Alma. Soderham, where it's this protected walled city of elites with anything and everything surrounding it. Roteberg is much more open, and it doesn't have the same kind of grip over its citizens and control and expectations as Soderham does. For some of you, this is your first trip. For some of you, it's something that you've been looking forward to for a long time. For some of you, like Boltzmann, this is a place that you've known based on your experiences. Him taking, spending time here with Vanguard and with High Command. Today, as you cross the Alpsea River into Roteberg proper, as you guys continue to move down, you see this. First off, you see the city grow is very vibrant. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of traffic once you get into or anywhere near the city itself. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of carts and people coming in to see the kind of displays, to see the attraction that is this King's Battle that is going to happen. As you cross the river, the Alpsea River into Roteberg proper, you see this grand display of banners kind of representing Amma and the Crown's Guard. You see signs welcoming contestants, signs talking about the King's Battle, talking about the King's Gala, and as you kind of cross over, look to your right, you see this gorgeous park filled with fountains, water features of all types, this beautiful walking paths with people filling them, a few vendors towards the outside selling prepared foods. Everywhere you look, everything is decorated in red and gold banners and streamers, all sporting a familiar lion and heart crest. You see one of the central fountains, and from it you see multiple small banners all being flown kind of in a circle around this large fixture in the middle. And after a few minutes you kind of take a look and you realize that some of these that you've seen and some of these that you've known, especially Boltzmann. Boltzmann, I'm going to have you do one history check just to see how many of these that you have looked at and seen. Saoirse as well.
Let's roll, baby.
Okay. Check coming.
History. That is
22.
Ooh.
nice. 23 for me.
Damn. I just realized the peanut butter that I thought I got was actually speculous. So you see all these small kind of flags that are flying in this circle around this main section. The easiest one to pick out is a white outlined geometric crown with swords above and below. This is the vanguard history that you know, that this is the sigil, the highly decorated garrison of all of Alma. This is the King's Guard. This is the elite team that is trained and protects the king. Next to that is a stag head with full antlers on a scarlet field. You know this to be a popular group of folk heroes, mercenaries to the northwest. This is the Vermilion Watch. There is a black flag with 3 silver claw marks outlined in gold trim that you have seen very recently as 3 or 4 days ago inside the Happy Gnome. This is the Talon Garrison. And then you see a yellow flag with a sky blue stripe with a white bear in the center. This is a Barbarian Council tribal flag, and the white bear representing the Kumange tribe, Kumange. And then the last flag that you see is a white flag with a blue stripe and an outline of a running Mustang. And this is the Roteberg Local Crowns Guard, one of the biggest garrisons because it is the biggest outpost. It controls Roteberg Castle as well as the High Command Post. And it's a very big rivalry between King's Guard and Roteberg Crowns Guard. And then in front of this magnificent kind of park area with all these water features, you do see on a covered kind of path, a covered kind of enclosure near the front, is a map of Roteberg itself. And I will post this in the handouts as well.
I'll post the map in 2 seconds. I'm just trying to get it situated properly.
And then I put it in the Discord as well. In our Discord. In the handouts. Is there anything that you guys think that you guys want to try to do? As of right now, you are kind of towards you've just crossed into town. In front of you, you see this large park type area with these water fountains, these water features, and kind of garden-like areas with these water features that are kind of spitting water back and forth between these large ponds that are kind of man-made ponds throughout this entire place. To your right, you do see a large building with kind of a fancy exterior, marble, but a white marble instead of a gray marble. And there's a large sign that says Gilded Lily Casino in gold.
Well, Bran crosses his arms over his large chest and he gestures towards Delilah. Well, first things first, I think we need to make sure Delilah gets to her would-be husband.
Very true. That is what was promised.
And as you guys have kind of come to this stop and kind of pulled over to this side of the road, looking at this this space and this map, it's only a little way up this road to Roteberg Castle, and that's where Gustav will be. Security might be tight. If you don't mind, I'd rather go it alone. It might be easier for me to get there rather than all of us.
Well, I mean, of course, but would it be alright if we make sure you get there?
Well, I can... She thinks for a moment. How do you wish to do that?
Well, we could just wait outside the gates.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere nearby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be fine. I'll just try to enter on my own. I'm not 100% sure that I may have to. I'm not sure I'm 100% allowed, but hopefully there'll be enough things going on that I can kind of get in. But yeah, it is just continue through town, and it should be just past. And she kind of explains that if you go through, you continue down this main road, and you go to the main center area, and then continue back outside of town towards the west. Then you come to Roteberg Castle, and what you see there is where Soderheim Castle, even the drawing that you saw is this very modernish but very hard-edged, very brutalist in design, square edges and clean lines. This is a very much more traditional kind of a castle-like front, and kind of complete structure, incorporating this entire keep, where the main Crownsguard has kind of taken hold. This is the main Crownsguard of Roteberg, as well as a training facility for almost all of Momma. Everyone that starts in a Crownsguard or Vanguard start here as their training, and then branch out depending on where it is. So there's lots of different departments, a lot of different things happening, but it's all within this very large keep. And you go outside of town probably a good 10 minutes outside of town proper, but there is a lot of it doesn't really end. The city doesn't really end. It's this kind of sprawling metropolis. So there's always little bits of civilization in between connecting these two things. You make it up to the castle area. Yep.
Sorry, I was just real quick. Even though he's not good at it, can Dante do an insight check on Delilah? Just to sort of just to see if she's she's like I don't know. He's just sniffing something funny here. He just gets the impression she's very reluctant to see us. Like, you know, she still wants to do it by herself, which means she could make a runner as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight.
Yep.
Oh, I was gonna say, would you like me to bless that?
I mean, I would, but I don't know if we'd have the chance to do that.
True. If that is something like an instinct of Dante to do, then
told you I wasn't good at it. That's a 9.
Wheel 9.
I'll get better, I promise.
So with the 9, I would say that you do have that sense that something is not 100% forthcoming with all the information that she has. There's something that she what you sense is there's some validation to that, but you're not 100% sure what that is. or if it's just something that you're imagining based on, you're not 100% sure how you'd be acting in a situation like that as well. So.
Yep. Okay. He just sort of furrows his brow at her and just thinks about what's happening and what she may be attempting to do. But he won't do anything.
You guys pull up to the castle, this large keep, and the front gates. There are Crown's Guard literally everywhere. You do see a almost full garrison in full march, kind of coming out of the main gates and patrolling along the main road away from the city, going on what seems to be, and what Dante or what Boltzmann and Saoirse would see as regular PT duties of new cadets or someone still in training or retraining, going through that system, doing some sort of physical therapy and doing the running and sprinting in armor that helps prepare them for battles later. You guys pull up, and even before you get near the main keep, there is some security that does stop you. Kind of puts their hand up and stops it. Hey, excuse me. There's no traffic through here. Unless you have business here. Hello?
Captain?
Camille kind of looks at Bran and then looks at Dante and then, like,
We're not here for any trouble. We're just here to deliver this young woman here.
I don't think we're supposed to say that.
We found her. We were escorting her down the road. It's just sort of like looking at Bran like, what the fuck?
Well, isn't the...
We came across her and a lady by herself. We were just traveling by and thought we'd make sure she reached the gates.
I have this. They're trying to be forthcoming. They're trying to be helpful, but it's complicated. Yes, I'm the betrothed of Gustav. Where's my note? Gustav Beauregard. He's a lieutenant in one of the Kingsguard garrisons from Soderham. I just need to see him if possible. The guy on the standing at the guard. There's no civilians allowed. Everything is closed off. We'll be opening 2 days from now for King's Battle, but until then, there's nobody in or out.
It's an emergency.
What's the emergency?
Well, she hasn't really told us. She tells me it's very, very important that she delivers a message.
She needs
personally.
to see her betrothed. I mean, what's more important than that?
Exactly. Please.
Perhaps if the good Sir Beauregard has some time, if he's in the keep, perhaps he could come out to see her instead of us going in.
I can take a message.
You could also take this young lady to him as well, just as easily as going to take the message, then coming back and grabbing her.
I'm not really at liberty to do that. I have superiors. If I let you through here, then as soon as you get to that front gate there, they're going to be asking me why I let you through.
Dante will sort of glance at Delilah. Is she, like, super uncomfortable at the moment?
Yeah.
Yes. She will make a perception check.
Go for it.
Everybody, do it! Click the buttons.
Go for it.
Is this an everybody thing?
Everybody!
Annie is just watching this interaction. Like, again, she's coming in the middle, has no idea what's happening, so she's kind of just going back and forth, completely amused.
I would say with that perception check, her actions do not seem... I'm going to play it more like almost like an insight, but...
Well, No, thank you.
Her actions don't seem to be in line. If everything that she said is 100% true, then her actions aren't matching what her words would be, or her actions would be.
Basically, her reaction.
Girls being
is not
untrue.
Yeah,
saying-
her reaction is not what her actions would be if everything she said was 100%.
Yes. Okay.
Am I to assume, like, is Dante on the cart still? Like, did we just pull up in the cart?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
the driver.
And where
Yeah.
is
Trolling
Delilah?
the asses. Sitting not next to you, but is sitting on the side of the cart, but in the back of the cart, in the back area, closest to you, but sitting up on this side of the cart.
I'm sorry. Okay. Does Camille notice, aside from Dante, because Dante has been rolling, but does Camille notice that there's something really, really off with Delilah? Should I make a roll for that?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay.
I also make an insight check.
Go for it. Anyone that wishes to
She's been
confirm
acting.
or look. Yeah.
Yeah,
Strange.
exactly.
How
Insight
does an at
time.
20 sound?
Whoa, Boltzmann has bad social skills.
I like the sound of your nat 20. Instead of 15.
Boltzmann, a pretty butterfly passes right before your eyes, and
Nice.
Is this a bird?
coloration?
Could I
Is
create?
this insight check?
What do I do with a 25? I would say, Saoirse, you definitely notice that she is kind of slumping down more into. She wishes she would not be doing this in front of an audience. She wished that it's almost the kid that got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, kind of knowing that people are going to be disappointed and also there's going to be maybe trouble, kind of a feeling and a look on her face. If everything that she had said was 100% true, her actions would definitely be different, and the way that she'd be responding would be different. As of right now, she's almost kind of in a sulken, kind of a given up type of a feel.
Okay.
Unless anyone wanted to interject, Dante was just going to sort of like noticing her reaction or her how she's acting at the moment. Dante would probably turn back to the guard and just, that is a splendid idea. Perhaps if you could rustle up the message and send it along, and he'll pull out a gold and throw it, like just toss it to the guy, not throw it at him. First, for your trouble, if you could send that message or carry that message for the young lady, that would be marvelous. If you could, we'll just wait to the side here.
Holtzman, can I just borrow a piece of paper?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Boltzmann reaches into his bag and pulls out a piece of paper.
And
Oh,
you
with-
see her. You see her kind of take it and kind of cover as much as possible with her left hand and begin writing in small detailed font on the right hand. You see her write something small, immediately fold it up, and push it and seal it with her fingers, creasing it, and giving it to the guard. And she takes out 2 gold and puts it on the piece, and gives it to the guard as well.
Would I have been able to see what she was writing?
Roll a perception check.
Dante wants his
All
money
right.
back.
Please, by the gods. That is sweet, the 19.
I would say that the details are lacking from what you saw.
Mhm.
She was very careful to kind of hide it and cover it.
Mhm.
And so the details of the words you did not see.
Ooh. Well hidden.
The one piece that you did see does confirm. You did see the word pregnancy, and you did see the person's name, Gustav Beauregard.
Bolsmus is gonna, quietly, mentally take note of what she had written down.
At this, Camille will look to the guards and give a bow of the head. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're so sorry for the trouble.
Yes, I'm so sorry to trouble you guys, and you guys as well. I'm sorry. I thought I could get through.
Oh no! It's completely fine. We're here to help you, and I would never break my word nor lie to anyone. And she grins at Delilah.
I
Why
appreciate that.
Why don't we go back and maybe we can relax and have a bit of a chat?
I agree. We could, perhaps a runner could be sent to the nearest inn where we can go grab a bite to eat and something to drink, and while we sit and chat and wait.
True. I like that idea.
Draw circles on the floor.
I don't understand that, but okay.
Oh, don't worry. We'll explain everything. All right, let's go.
And you're able to turn the wagon back away from the keep and back into town. So where would you like to go?
Guys?
I would definitely,
To the
Saoirse would
inn.
definitely be wanting to go to the nearest inn, and she's keeping a close eye on Delilah.
One of the places, as you guys pass through town, and you saw this on your way out of town, and you definitely see it on the way back into town as well. In next to the main center square, one of the biggest features in all of Roteberg, and this has kind of been updated a little bit since last you remember Boltzmann, partly because of King's Battle, partly because of just expansion and upkeep. Is you see the Heroes Gallery and Vindex Populi Museum, and this is a huge structure, a huge complex of structures that you see right across from the main square, and this is basically a museum, and this is the original place and the original kind of destination that you guys had been told to come to, based on all the way back in Silt with trying to find out more information, or even actually before that, all the way back in Cicatrice. You had been told that there was this place in Roteberg.
God,
that
it's
had
almost
more
been it's almost been a year in real life since
And
that.
it's been 3 months in game.
How time flies.
All right. We'd pass. So we'd pass through that area there.
Mhm.
And
As far as taverns go, Kirlich House would be the ultimate upscale place. That's Kirlich House. That would be where the nobles and the out of town, more upscale guests would be trying to find a place, as well as the Boar's Nest Tavern, which is more of a local place, but it does have rooms attached.
Yeah, perhaps we could go find some place where we can even get a private room, have a little privacy while we just sit and wait, given the sensitivity of our reason for seeking Delilah's betrothed.
Yeah, you would know. That would be the two places that you would know. Not really going to have a lot of privacy, especially knowing how full the streets are today. Everything is done up in festive style and festival style. There seems to be an overflow of visitors and tourists coming for the displays, coming for almost a pilgrimage to this place and a pilgrimage to the battle, just as a family activity or vacation or something of that ilk happening in this place. So a lot of people, not a lot of privacy. Hairlick House would definitely be the place where you could get a room like that if it is still available, because of the amount of people. The Boar's Nest would definitely probably have rooms still available because it's a bigger place and they're less fancy rooms, so there's probably more people.
All right, guys, where are we gonna stay?
Oh, sorry.
No.
I was gonna ask if this event is King's Battle. Is it something that's well known just all across Amma? Like everyone knows this. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing. And because it's a pretty big thing. A lot of people know about it. It's a form of entertainment. There's not a lot of that around. So if they can make a festival out of it, then they do. So that's why everything is kind of done up and shined up, and all the decorations are out. You see more people. For the people that have been here before, you definitely see more people here than that you have before. One of the places that you pass as you see a sign from the public market. You see a street sign that says Oskith Foundation, pointing off into to the right side as you come back. You don't see it. It is a couple blocks over, past the big central kind of market area where they have multiple buildings, almost these clusters of complexes that are kind of make up this entire, some open air market, some buildings that are full establishments. All the sales and entertainment kind of happening within this space, and there is a sign for the Oskith Foundation to the far south.
Emmy's eyes have been just every time they get in the wagon and they're going through the city, her eyes are just enormous, just kind of soaking everything in. And as far as she's concerned, it's one of those things that could be taken as just, it's fanfare. There's a lot going on. Not that she's necessarily new to the city. It's just, there's so much going on and it's very exciting. So she's just kind of taking it all in while everyone's discussing this Delilah situation that she has no idea what's going on with it. So she's just waiting to be told kind of what that situation is before they can all start kind of going exploring, because she 100% stares at that Oskith Foundation sign and keeps her eye on the direction and kind of memorizes where that is.
And the other thing to notice, Bolton, with your perception, you did see a sign for Lion's Peak. Lion's Peak would be a subdivision within Roteberg that is of familiar note to you.
Yes. Boltzmann, he would notice that. He would clench his teeth. His jaws would clench, and he would just keep on walking. He'd definitely take note of where that is. And would he notice Osklith, the Osklith Foundation sign as well?
And you would know that to be a almost like a magical academy.
Yeah, exactly.
Wizarding academy. It's not Hogwarts, but it is a
close enough.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Teaching of arcane principles.
Yeah, he'd be keen on that as well. But as they're walking, he would be holding his bag of he would be holding his bag, or probably even the edges of his coat, even somewhat tightly, as if he's tense. The people around him, I mean, the others could probably see it, as him being a bit more tense than usual as he's walking down the streets, and he would just tell everybody. So, where will we be staying? The Hirlich house would be. Well, we might see some familiar faces there, probably, since, well, Boltzmann would know that it's the snazzier, not inn, or snazzier place to stay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah, he would mention that, the rich and probably the more powerful would be more willing to stay there.
Familiar to whom?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know any noblemen. Do you, Cam?
Don't even know what that is.
Don't y'all? Aren't y'all trying to get your friend here back inside the castle?
Well, just the way Boltzmann's been saying it. I don't know any familiar faces.
How about Captain Hans? Or somebody, I don't know. Just in case. No? Alright, fine then. Or we could stay at the boar's nest. So anyways, yeah. Where will we be staying?
Well, it really depends on everyone else. Where would anyone want to stay? Chime in at any time.
Let's just. Why don't we just find something nice, easy to blend into?
My coin purse says the boar's nest.
Exactly.
And I imagine it would be easier for most of us to blend in there at the Boar's Inn.
And Boltzmann nods in agreement.
Great.
You are able to make your way to the boar's nest. Again, because of the size of the city, everything is bigger and grander. This is not very, I would not say grand. It is definitely more upscale. It kind of reminds you of, the Rusty Nail and So Here. Not quite a dive, but it definitely is a nice place within the city. And you are able to go in, and it is could fit about 100 people in the tavern area below, so it is quite large. You do see a number of bar areas that have been set up, and you kind of make your way over to one, and you do see a woman behind the bar, busy waiting on people, but she asks, how can I help you?
We'd love some rooms if possible, or at least a place to take lunch. Is it that time, or is it still morning? Sorry.
No, it's about lunchtime.
Lunch.
A little bit after.
To take lunch or just relax
Yeah,
after traveling.
You can grab any table. As far as rooms, if you haven't made a reservation, it'll be a little bit harder.
Do you have rooms?
Well, how
We
much?
were
What's your budget?
We were hoping, and Sirsha would pull out a platinum, hoping to have some privacy to discuss something with a friend of ours. And she would slide the platinum over to the woman.
Yeah, I definitely have a room for you. And she goes and reaches over at the table. Rustles behind the counter, and finds a key. Give me just a minute. Just wait here. And you see her disappear. There's a kind of a wrapping bar that kind of goes. The tavern area down below is full of tables, and there's a kind of an open area in the middle, but then there's stairs that lead up to an upper balcony that kind of wraps around the entire side, and then you see more stairs that go up into a closed off area with rooms, and beyond that, you see her disappear upstairs, up to the third floor, and disappear out of sight for a little bit.
While she's gone, and we're waiting, and he looks at the others, and she asks, "We are going to be staying for the king's battle, right?"
Camille's face goes a little sour, and she just looks away.
After our fiasco with Captain Schultz.
Aren't y'all all in the clear?
We are in the clear. It's just that some of us don't particularly enjoy such festivities. And she does air quotes.
I'd trust the guy farther than I can throw him.
Well, all right then.
Few minutes pass, and you see the woman coming down the stairs in front of a man. She's kind of grabbed by the shirt cuffs by the back of the neck, and kind of pushing her way down through the stairs. It looks like he's trying to grab his pants and kind of button his pants as he's kind of moving along down the thing. It looks like your platinum has gotten someone evicted and given you a room for the evening.
Oh my god!
Money talks, baby. Money talks.
Yeah,
Platinum.
shinier the better.
Oh.
He escorts this man out and returns back to the bar. Yeah, here's your key right here. You go to the third floor. It's the second door on your left.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. Just
Yeah.
keep one of these a day, and that room is yours for the rest of the keep if you want.
Thank you. We'll keep that in mind. And Sirsha will head up to the room. No, not really expecting the others to follow her.
Boltzmann's just looking between Sirsha and the woman. What the hell?
Same.
Camille kind of puts two and two together as this poor man is being evicted, and her jaw just drops, and then she looks to Sirsha, who's still nonchalantly, just taking the key and sauntering over, and Camille is just standing there like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think everybody is except for Dante, probably.
Yeah, Dante's rubbing off on her.
Y'all know how to get things done around here.
Yeah, Dante's just sort of looking at the gold coin pass over the counter. And is just sort of like thinking about his gold coin from before. Sorry, the platinum. And
Yeah.
Rich.
Is it too late to pick it up?
Secretly, Dante's also thinking, hoping that doesn't draw any attention, but that was well done, and he's going to try and sort out the cart and the horses or the donkeys.
There is a place that's behind and attached to this place, so it does have a place for patrons to be able to store their carts. Not a lot of space, but you do find an empty stall.
Dante sort of
Considering...
I was just going to say, Dante will knock on your chest and put his hand out and sort of look down at Addie. Do you have any sausages and gloves? Do you want me to take her and put her in the cart again?
I was actually going to ask that if, since this is kind of a rough and tough kind of area, and considering it's a very large tavern.
Wouldn't say rough and tough. It's definitely urbanized.
Okay.
But yeah, she could be your car alarm.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say that would be something that you could have been training over the past couple of days with the cart. Once you get the cart, that could be her protective area.
Yeah, just gonna have her
worth doing.
Yeah, gonna teach her to be all tough and intimidating by the cart. I don't think anybody wants to approach a cart that's guarded by a sleeping owlbear.
You guys are able to arrange that. You get up to the room, and it's a fairly large size room. Not very many beds. There's one large, what would be a queen size bed, so a bed big enough for a couple, or two people. Lots of floor space available, but not a lot of beds available. But enough floor space that would suit all of you. There is a small table with two chairs on one corner and a bureau with a mirror on the other.
Saoirse would just wait for the others to file in.
And I assume we do so.
Follow in. I'm looking around at the room, wondering if this is actually where we're staying or if it was literally just a discussion room that we played a platinum for.
Delilah, why don't you have a seat?
Okay. Sure. You see her beginning to be a little bit uncomfortable, knowing that the mood had shifted since after the trip to the keep.
I'm curious, Delilah, have you been telling us the whole truth about this trip? You seemed awfully nervous and put out at the gate to the keep.
Well, I'm pregnant, if that's what you're asking.
Camille walks up right next to Saoirse, stands there and folds her arms, just looking at Delilah. She doesn't say anything, though.
Well, I'm thinking about how you asked for us to help escort you. We've done so, and then you wanted to go to the keep without us. Upon getting there, like I said, you sounded and seemed nervous, and then when you found out that you couldn't go see your betrothed, you seemed a bit put out, and then quickly scribbled your note.
Well, roll a persuasion check.
Okay, that's the one I'm not good at. That's the one I've got a
You could
negative
roll.
one.
You could roll an intimidation.
Intimidation?
She'd probably be, not, being a little more intimidating.
Not aggressively intimidating, but
subtly intimidating.
Matronly intimidating.
How's a 20 sound?
Sounds intimidating.
Oh no, Mama Saoirse's mad.
Well, it's kind of like that guy, way back when, that gnome. What was his name? She doesn't like being strung along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have been honest. You see her kind of put her hand on her forehead. Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Betrothed is a weird word. He's definitely the father. But he may not know it yet until he gets that message.
Camille's face shifts from shock to curious to appalled.
It's just like in one of my books.
Boltzmann, after Boltzmann hears this, he was just Boltzmann hears this, he just throws his hands into the air and just turns around and walks close towards the door.
And he's sitting on the bed,
that's
just
great.
leaning closer in as she watches the drama unfold.
And you said
I appreciate everything that you've done. I do. I don't know. When I suggested to go to the keep, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to approach it. I figured I could get through myself without any issue. I don't know what my plan was.
Camille raises her hand, takes a deep breath. Okay. You ran away from home. You got captured. We saved you. And then you have the audacity to lie.
You just see her kind of looking down. Looking at her feet.
Camille just looks at Saoirse.
Is he handsome?
It doesn't matter!
Emmy.
Sorry.
I take it when you say that betrothed may not be the best word. The two of you hadn't been, I think they say, seeing each other long when everything happened.
When he found out he was getting shipped out, there was a ball. There was some wine. We hadn't been seeing each other very much. The next day when he went to leave, he told me that he was no longer interested.
It's just like the books.
I
Oh, God.
Camille
Will
doesn't
somebody
even.
please take those off her?
Camille can't even look at Delilah right now because she's so flustered, and she just walks over to a nearby window. She's so mad.
I don't know. I'll just leave. You guys have done more than enough for me. You guys don't owe me anything. I appreciate everything you've done. If I could pay you for your services, I would. But I don't know. I just need to talk to him. I guess I have to wait until the gates open. He's with the Kingsguard. It'll be easy to find. I could more than easily find a way to meet him then.
Alright, okay, so riddle me this. What if he doesn't want anything to do with you? Or the child? What are you gonna do now?
Well, I'd be in the same position if he does. Or if he doesn't. At least I have a chance with one.
We can't let you go now.
You've been more than hospitable. I can find my way. It's not a big deal. I've put you out already. It's too much.
Well, I think.
this.
Yeah, and at the very least, we would like to see that your message has been received and you receive something in return.
I hope so.
Maybe we can talk some sense into him. Make him understand it ain't right to do that to a lady.
That or castrate him.
I like
all these
suggestions.
options.
I don't know about that one, but
She gives Bran a look, like
Bran-
a nod.
Bran could be the honorable man here and become husband to her wife. And he just sort of
He
straight
can
face.
perform ceremony.
Well, I was thinking a little bit more than that.
I feel like there's more of a connection between you two.
Not at all, actually.
No.
She's
What
been
y'all
quite
need to
blunt.
do? What y'all need to do is we need to have, among us, whoever's the strongest, we need to set up a champion for her honor. And then you duel the man. It's just like my book.
You sound like Camille.
Exactly how you do it.
You know how these Amun nobles fight? They fight with those little pointy swords. What are they called? Rapiers?
What this? And then Dante just like flips his
noble.
out. What this,
So
Bran?
noble.
This whips it
Yeah,
back into his
something like
wrist.
that, but a little bit thinner.
Yeah, I know. Mine's thicker than most, but God, Bran.
Oh my.
Whatever
It's also
helps
like
you
in my
sleep at
book.
night.
All right, all of you are not helping.
No, and
Let's
I thought that was perfectly helpful. Challenge him to a
No.
duel for her honor.
I appreciate the sentiment, but the sentiment, not the sediment, that's a rock.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
Yes, that
sentiment.
is indeed a rock.
I
Also
appreciate
sentiment. I do also appreciate rocks.
rocks are nice. But I do appreciate the idea, but you're not my type.
Who's she talking to?
Bran, I hope,
Everyone
'cause
just falls quiet.
I
No,
never,
it's
I
to
never
Dante.
offered. I
She
never
said to
offered.
Dante because Dante was the one who offered to marry.
No, I said Bran.
Oh,
I
well,
said Bran
she
should marry her. He's the
misunderstood.
honorable one.
I
Bran
countered
her
by
that.
saying that there's more of a connection between Dante and her.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
said she said no.
She
It's-
misunderstood. Then never mind. Take that back.
Dante's ignoring
Oh.
her while he's just like,
Sentiment and sediment.
Ooh.
At this point, Camille takes a few deep breaths and calms herself down a little bit. Walks over to Delilah, sits down next to her, looks at her. Well, we could easily say that yes, we can castrate the man. We can easily say it was just the wine. And you ran off because you thought that there was no other choice. But you put yourself in bigger peril by chasing after a man you don't even know is going to accept you or the child. Not only did you put yourself in danger, you put the child in danger too. Wishful thinking will get you nowhere. Well, obviously it got you somewhere. A lot more lost.
She hangs her head low.
I am very frustrated that you didn't tell me everything. The truth. I don't like it when people lie to me. But I would like to see that you're safe. You and your child. You need to think about what you're going to do if things go terribly wrong for you. If this man turns you away. You need to start thinking. Do you understand me?
I do.
I need a drink.
Me too.
No, you're not. Well, milk.
Would Sirsha remember if Amma has any laws pertaining to alimony?
Oh my god.
They're not married,
Comes
so
out of the
that
corner and
doesn't
just pulls out a rule book and puts on the.
child
Let
support.
me open my
Like,
AMA
just
campaign
do
guide
it.
to the legal marriage section. Let
Well,
me read
according
it.
I can ask Professor Vormund if there's
According
if
to
there's child
Republic
support
Act.
laws.
Yeah, does Amma
Republic
have
Act
child
number-
support laws?
482.
Yeah, I would
No.
say in this situation there would be very little
Is there anything
legal.
legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be no
No.
legal protection for something like this.
In all seriousness, he does say, you know, I know that books are fiction and all, but this is a very real situation. And do we know if this man is shipped out just yet? Is he already gone?
No, he's here. He's part of Kingsguard. He came down when he was the celebration that we had, the ball, was when he was announced to be part of the team that will be competing in the King's Battle. So he's here for sure. Once he competes, then he'll go back.
Well then, I don't see any reason why it isn't actually feasible that we can't either or talk some sense into him and make you something that he would be an absolute fool to turn away. I happen to be an expert on fashion, as it were, and you're also already very beautiful, a perfect canvas already to begin with. We can make sure that this man does not turn you away. We can certainly put the odds in our favor.
Her eyes kind of light up after hanging her head low and being sullen at the stern nature of Camiel. She does light up a little bit when you say that, and does react very well to it.
Dante would like to chirp up at the back when she Emmy says that and says, or if nothing else, or if all else fails, we could petition the head of the Crown's Guard or the King's Guard or whatever unit he's part of, and tell them of the situation and what that guard has done to dishonor a woman, and bring as much shame against him as we can, so that maybe he'll change his mind or at least support you.
What sort of proof do we have?
Without his honor, without his job in the Crown's Guard, and how's he going to take care of her?
He can get an honest job. Dante laughs.
Then is that really also a way to, is it really right to coerce a person to live with another?
Not to live. To
hopefully to.
Well, fine. A lot of people decide to join their hands, and he just sort of like raises his hand a little bit because the child is in the way, or in the view, or in appears. But maybe she wants to live her own life, and maybe she will decide she wants to live her own life, and maybe he should, throw some money and support her way. Dante's just like, it's easy.
We won't know until we talk to him.
What his reaction will be. I don't know what his reaction would be. He doesn't know yet until he reads that message.
Exactly.
Hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I have a spell that is called Locate Creature. If somebody, it says, I think that it's a creature that, or something that I know, but if someone were to give me great detail as to the person or the creature, would I be able to use it to locate them too?
Let me look at it.
It's a 4th level. That helps.
4th level, and it would have to be 1,000 feet of you.
Well, if he's competing in the King's battle, he's going to be there. Then we can always track him down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be something that would work now, because if he's supposedly within the keep, if he is with the rest of the King's Guard that had come down, they are currently in the keep. But yeah, you could always try if you'd like to.
So I would.
A specific creature known to you, or the nearest creature of a specific kind known to you. And is creature human? Creature can be human, right?
I suppose so. We are types of creatures.
Yeah, creatures can be humans.
Creature is humanoid creature. Okay. Yeah, you could definitely try that. But it does have that 1,000-foot range. So if he is where he says he's supposed to, or if he is where she thinks he is, it would be more than that range at this point.
So I'll offer. I can't do it right now anyway, because I already have my spells known for the day. But I offer. I say one thought. if we are able to see this man, and you said he's competing in the King's battle, if we're able to see him, and we'll get you all dolled up, looking absolutely amazing, then once his battle is over, once he's done competing, we can always track him down. I've got the perfect spell to do it. We'll track him down. We'll get all this out in the open with him, and we can get it figured out from there. We would just have to be at the King's battle. Or at least I would have to be.
That's fine with me.
Abigail, you don't have to.
I plan on going.
That's one option if we want to get a hold of him for sure. At least we know he'll be there. Whether he gets the note or not, we can't tell.
And Emmy, question. Bran, you mentioned something about needing proof that he is in fact the father. Emmy, do you have any magic that would allow you to determine this?
Well,
or to help us?
Magic that he's the only one that I've been with. Not that it's too much of a... Well, I guess I am being open here. Yeah. Yes, he is the only one, so it is his. There's no other option.
Yeah. How about finding out... is there any way we can find out or have some indication of how everything might pan out?
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm thinking augury.
Clairvoyance of a time?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
you don't have augury. Oh, wait, what level is that? Anyway.
I have, well, I do have I am able to get into people's thoughts a little bit. At least I would know. But, thoughts are thoughts, and what I see is what I see. You'd have to trust me. If y'all trust me, I could get into his thoughts.
I think we can. I think we should just let what happens happen first, and then if we need to do anything else, we can go from there. But let's find out his reaction before we do anything like that.
I agree, Delilah. Smart and brave, this one. I like her.
And if all else fails, give me a day or so and maybe 10 to 15 minutes and I could set up a zone of truth.
Arcane strikes again.
Dante's decided just while this discussion is going on, he's just sort of like gives a little shake of his head and excuses himself, like doesn't say anything, just leaves. Doesn't want to disrupt the situation. When he hears the zone of truth, and Envy just say, "Oh, magic strikes again." He sort of chuckles to himself and just shakes his head and walks out as he walks out of the room to go downstairs.
As Camille, are you joining him on that?
Yeah, at this point, she will remove herself from the situation.
As you turn and walk towards the door that leads out, Delilah, Camille.
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. Camille turns away and exits quietly.
Shall we do some makeup test runs?
Montage?
Okay. Yeah, you guys. You guys can definitely do that if you wish. The rest of the day
right
here in Roteberg is yours. So yeah, if you would like to prep Delilah for the next coming days, you could definitely do so. What's everyone else doing?
Well, Bran is available to whatever
do the makeup.
The rest need him to do to prepare for how we're gonna handle this. It would take me a day though to set up a zone of truth if that's what's needed, because I didn't prepare it for today. If we're talking about like having the noble to kind of confess to being the one.
Well, I imagine we'd be hard pressed to get him to come to the boar's nest. Probably have to try and cast it immediately, as quickly as possible at the fort.
Yeah.
So it's wherever we find him. If I can see him, and once I know him, I can locate him. But I also need to wait until the day because I'd have to have the spell prepared, which I don't have prepared yet. So whatever day we do this, I'd have that spell prepared so we could do that. Once we locate him, we can either get him wherever we want to go, or we can find him in a hopefully good spot and you can cast it there. You just don't know where he's going to be.
Yeah, it would have to be like an exact location because let me check the range of it actually.
You could maybe slip him another note saying to be somewhere.
Could be,
maybe
yeah.
Cam, did you go outside or did you stay where you were? Or are you still within the tavern?
Who, me?
Yeah. You said you had left. I didn't know if you left the tavern itself or just left the...
She left the room.
Oh, okay. So what else are you guys doing?
Dante's just going downstairs to get something to eat. He's starving. This whole... Like, he there was supposed to be food here, guys. Like, where was the food? No, he's just gone downstairs. He's going to grab a bite to eat. He's going to relax. He's going to write in his little red book, shaking his head and laughing to himself the whole time. And that's basically what he's going to do until everybody decides.
You go downstairs, Dante.
Sorry?
When you go downstairs, you sit down at the table, you get some food ordered. Some for you, some for the rest. You take a look out one of the windows that just happens to be open. Roll a perception check.
Yes, sir. Hey, there it is. Oh, I rolled a 2.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
Actually, it wouldn't be perception, it would be history. You roll that.
History. Oh, that's even worse. Do I have a +7? I have a +0. There you go.
Well.
Oh my god.
How many shots has he done so far?
Waiting for your pretzel bread to come.
Oh shit, he's not drinking.
Pretzel bread and ale.
Yep.
Actually, if Dante wouldn't mind, like, Camiel would accompany him, but she's not gonna bother him as much. She's just gonna be around.
As you're sitting there, Cam, roll a history check as well.
Oh Jesus, okay. Come on, baby. -1 history. Let go.
It's not bad actually, considering it's a -1.
It beats the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
As you're looking out the window, you do notice the big gold letters that says Gilded Lily Casino at the building that is across the main thoroughfare. You pause for a moment as that name sounds oddly familiar, but you cannot place where that name comes from.
Gilded Lily. Huh. She's more confused of what a casino is.
She's so pure.
What else is everybody doing?
After I guess if if those are the only two who left, if only Dante and Camiel left, then I guess Emmy is sort of talking to Brenimir and Saoirse and Boltzmann, or whoever else is helping them plot this whole very dramatic, very fictional, dramatic romance story with her. And she's lapping it up, but also seriously planning. And when she's done with the trial run of Delilah's makeup, she is going to, if Delilah's okay with it, she's going to bring her down to show off to the others while they go get some food, because they probably do want to eat some food. And then just as a forethought, when they're done there, she wants to go take a peek at Osgith Foundation.
Roll a performance check to see how well you have made up your model.
It's okay. It's only a trial run. Let's see.
Pretty good.
14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, she comes down. She's has some color on her face. Looks much more made up, and after being on the road, and now kind of cleaned up, and as well as put some makeup, and looks a little bit more put together than she has.
Had to curl her hair a little. It didn't quite hold. What do y'all think?
Bran just kind of crosses his arms over his chest, and he kind of gives a slight shrug, being very blunt. I'm not the best judge at this sort of thing.
Well, you know a pretty girl when you see one.
Bran kind of like, something clicks in his mind, and he kind of gets what situation he's put himself into, and he kind of tries to go like a full 360 and goes, right, amazing. Yeah, Boltzmann, right? I'll voice Boltzmann because his internet is currently out. I assure you, he will be. Bran, I believe she looks stunning, ravishing even.
And he's just very proudly, like, got her hands on her hips, is very proud of her work. And she promises that the day of, it'll be even better. We'll get a nice dress for her, and we'll make sure her hair, we'll get some nice clips for her hair. It'll be perfect. And there's no way that he'll be able to resist her. And then she dives for some food because she's hungry.
Dante will wave a plate at Delilah, like, he knows she's hungry. There you go. I saved you some.
Thank you. You do see her attitude change now. You do see her much more relaxed and interacting better with the group now that she has now had all of her cards laid on the table. Yeah, she's there, and she's she's definitely much more relaxed and open now. What else would you guys like to do?
I assume everyone is downstairs at this point.
Yeah, both. I'll have you roll me a history check too, just to see.
Please.
Are we doing history checks?
She was actually gonna bring that up.
Not you, but
Okay.
Branimir.
Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Branimir, 22 on a history check. You start thinking, and you start noticing, and even you see kind of Cameo looking out the window and looking at these big letters that say Gilded Lily Casino. You do have a flashback of the last time that you saw the Gilded Lily. It was printed and painted onto the side of a very modern ship inside Silt Harbor that you had visited only for a moment.
No.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
And he's just
Bran
eating.
immediately frowns. Like, it's just this It's like his face sank at the mere sight of it, and he just mutters under his breath, "Ah, shit."
Shit, what?
Huh?
Brand points at the signage.
Mhm.
Big gold letters on the side of this white, kind of almost square-looking box of a building. Much more modern-looking building, but it says Gilded Lily Casino in big, singular gold letters.
When you think of rich and gaudy, who do you think of, Cam?
A lot of people
Recently.
recently. Hmm. And she looks at the sign. Are we talking about the platinum cunt?
Did she actually say that out loud?
Yes.
Is that correct, though, DM? Like, is that safe to assume? Yeah.
The name of the
Brand-
boat that you had visited and taken a meeting with Erica Arendelle was called the Gilded.
Because I was thinking, too, I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And then I was like, yeah, that's right. So yeah, Bran would slowly nod, and you can visibly see the frustration in his face. Her claws are that long.
What's a casino?
You ever heard of gambling, Camille?
Yeah, no.
It's where you risk something valuable on a very slight chance that you might earn more than what you placed.
Oh, so it's like a game for drunk people.
That's actually a very accurate description. Let's go with that. Now imagine a whole building of that.
Why would you do that?
For fun, I suppose.
That is sounds like a good business. But then again, there are lots of drunk, stupid people around with lots of money. So,
Again, that's why it's a good business. A dirty one, but a business all the same.
so you're telling me she owns that building?
Well, unless the sigil is different, but I'm fairly certain that is the very same sigil I saw on her yacht.
Yeah, there's not so much of a symbol as it is the font. You do
Oh, it's
remember
the font.
that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's the font that she has on the same as the boat. It's the same on the same side of the casino, Gilded Lily.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Wasn't there an unfortunately unfinished business between the both of you?
Bran kind of sinks into his seat a little bit, and kind of his neck is slowly disappearing into his into his body as he kind of grunts. Yes.
I mean, it's right there. Maybe. And she gives him a look and then thinks about what she's about to say, and then her face kind of melts a little bit at the thought that, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Never mind. I don't know. I don't like Roteberg very much.
I believe my experience has been soured as well. And Bran takes a sip of his tankard of milk, leaving a very wide milk mustache that he does not notice as usual.
Camille just doesn't bother saying anything at this point.
I think everyone has stopped bothering. And yeah, Brand would point that out to the rest of the party members, if they can recall. Well, if anything, he'd actually explain the situation in, like, long story short, to Emmy about their experience with the Platinum Erica Arendelle.
Platinum who, the what?
To make a short story short, a long story short. To make a story short, basically they had worked a deal. They were at one time captured by the group had been captured by this person, exiting a cave with a item that was connected to the Vindex Populi, so the hero group, the ancient hero group. It was something that they were aware of, but they were never able to get into. And so that now that they had gotten into it, they captured them, found out how they got into it, and basically made a deal with them so that they would keep the item as long as the group were to come back with other items. They could negotiate part of the items for themselves, with her blessing, basically. And after making that deal, they've kind of encountered her once or twice because there's been no kind of movement on that front, if you will, as far as she had seen, even though that she had given them tools to kind of help and try to do that, but they've been busy with other things.
We were more strong-armed than we were making a deal. Let's be honest here.
Well, you were captured at the time you made the deal, so that
Right.
Details.
It's more like, hey, do this job for me, or I'll kill you.
So
yeah, there
basically,
were sharks mentioned at the time. There were.
she's waiting on more items for you guys to deliver?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, give me artifacts, or I'll kill you.
And that's one of the reasons why they're in Roteberg, is to find out more information about the Vindex Popula. That's uncommon information, so that they can continue their search for more items.
Y'all got yourselves in a spot of trouble, and now you walked right up to her front door.
Well, admittedly, she found us, but...
Now that don't seem to make much of a difference when y'all still owe her some stuff, huh? I knew there was something about y'all. I knew it. knew it.
I wasn't here for
Brandon
that.
visibly gritting his teeth at this point. You can hear it, his teeth grinding.
Dante just looks up from his book and is just like, I wasn't here for that.
I don't even know parts of the story. I was just there for like a second, and I met her, and she really is a big cunt. She's mean.
Oh.
Sounds about right from what I saw.
I would,
And Stircha is kind of fiddling with the fletchings of some of her arrows.
Does not sound like someone I would like to meet. Now, what I would like to do, though, is take a little peek around the city. So, and she nabs a couple more of the sausages and or whatever's on the whatever food was available, and like shoves one in her mouth. And she's like, "If anyone wants to take a walk with me, y'all are welcome. But I would like to go take a peek at something."
It doesn't sound like a bad idea, actually.
Gets you further away from this casino.
I just want to look at the fountain.
Oh, those are pretty. I do want to go see that, but I got to go see something else first.
Of course. Well, I'll come with you.
I'll come with as well. I'd like to see the area.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a guess here and assume Boltzmann would also want to come with Emmy to see us.
I think he
Osgith?
mentioned some interest in it. Osgith,
Yeah.
Osgith.
Foundation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a wild guess and assume that he would want to come along.
I would assume that he would want to go to the Heroes Gallery as well, being the information buff that he is.
I was going to say Dante would like to go to the Heroes Gallery.
Okay. So you guys make it. You guys exit the Boar's Nest, travel down this main thoroughfare, past the the water features, the water garden that's on your on the right hand side, past the shopping area. We'll wait for Boltzmann on that, but you guys also were told of a place within Roteberg that would be able to that would sell your jade at a fair price. So that you were
Yeah.
given that opportunity as well.
I kind of wanted to visit the market, but we can do that after.
Okay. You visit the main square, and the biggest feature in this is obviously the Heroes Gallery. It's just like this, just off the central square. There's a huge collection of buildings. They're all kind of uniformly decorated in red and gold, streamers and traditional Alma banners. It's more of a classical style. There's large pillars on this main building. It's pretty huge. So where would you like specifically to go from this area? Did you want to go to the Heroes Gallery? Did you want to go to the Oskith Foundation? The first thing that you guys see would be the Heroes Gallery.
Emmy is sort of one-track minded, so like she's admiring the Heroes Gallery from afar, but her feet are like instantly taking her towards Osgith.
Okay. So you continue.
Oh,
Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the time of day currently?
It's just past noonish or so. Didn't take you that long to go out past and then come back. So it's
Okay.
just past noon. It's a short day from where you guys stayed the previous night.
If let's say if Bran were to also accompany Emmy to the Oskith, would there be time on the way back to visit the marketplace, or would it be a little too late for that?
Yeah, you definitely have time. Yeah. If we can, just because I see that Boltzmann's already, I don't think he's going to be back. Let's, I don't like to railroad you guys, but if we can save that for when he's here, that would be better.
That's not
Okay.
railroading.
It's
yeah.
just more beneficial with everybody there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can. There's definitely time for the market. There's definitely time for the Heroes Gallery, whichever you guys would want to do first.
I'll go wherever anybody wants to go, but my main destination would be the market afterwards.
Okay.
How many days do we have until the events and the festivities begin?
The guard had
2
said
days?
that 2 days until they open the gates for the battle.
Oh, so exciting. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, Emmy is just, like, all in a tizzy. Like, the whole atmosphere is just, like, electrified for her, and she's just very excited about the whole thing. So she's walking around, just very wide-eyed and almost touristy.
Okay.
Yeah, she's headed towards Osgith.
Okay. I would say on the way to Oskith, since Boltzmann's not here, let's go to the Heroes Gallery first. And then we can go to the market after. Just off the central square, you see the buildings, the large building, red and gold streamers everywhere. The first set of buildings that you see in the front kind of sets the tone with this set of stairs that are nearly as wide as the front of the hall. Tall, ionic pillars holding up more carved marble. Overhead, seen with like intricate carvings on top of a clean, crisp detail within the marble cuts. This being one of the highlights of the entire city and a destination and pilgrimage for many Amian families. On this week before the King's Battle, there's a large number of people coming and going. There's a strong Crown's Guard presence within the square, but especially seated out front, or not seated, but positioned out front of this main hall. Most are acting more as tour guides, pointing the way to confused-looking visitors rather than, smashing heads or anything of that nature. Much more helpful than confrontational for the most part. Most people you've seen have never been to a place as large and bustling as a city like this. You kind of make your way up the stairs and into a large open hall, an open air hall, and you get the scale of this place that is overwhelming. Some of you come from towns that could easily fit into the portion of this space that you're seeing in front of you. There's a main hall with large murals and statues of different historical figures. The two that are highlighted, the two most highlighted are the first statue you see, similar to a pose that is seen within the tribute hall, the stained glass murals that you've seen there. A figure in black armor with two sigils on his chest, one the heart and lion, and one of a fist and lightning bolt. This hulking figure has a round face, a trimmed white beard, and dark black eyes. He holds a sword and has one on his back. The pose has him looking off into the distance and pointing his sword forward and upward, intentionally not meeting the gaze of any of the visitors below. At the base of the statue is a large bronze plaque that reads Vladic Ear, the 12th X11. King Vladic Ear X11. Just past the ear statue, the king ear statue, is a large round desk with multiple people assisting and pointing directions to one of the many exhibits housed in the gallery. On both sides of the information desk are painters and artists that are offering quick pocket-sized portraits to visitors in front of the different statues for a nominal charge. Just past the desk is a focal point of the room, a large marble statue with 5 familiar heroes. Going left to right, you see Massimo Valor Vindas, the half-elf cleric, leader, Atlas Legion, human fighter, Onyx Ravenborn, tiefling wizard, Avalanche Cocaine, Goliath Barbarian, and Soraya Sapbottom, Gnome Druid. You see beyond you multiple buildings, and each with their own exhibits. Because of the nature of this, before we... actually, I'm looking at the time. Before we get into a little bit more deeper into this museum, I think we're going to call it for this evening. And we'll come back next week being able to finish the exploration of this place.
Yep.
Yay!
Oh, man.
Cool. I had a feeling that was coming up.
Yeah.
The only reason Dante wants to be there is because he was asked a long time ago, back at Sodaham, to go find some information about these guys. So as soon as he saw the museum, he's like, all right, let's go have a look.
Yep. And the reason that you were there is the reason that you guys are here today. So, still looking for that information.
So we decided to go to Heroes Gallery first versus Osgith first.
Yeah, because I kind of want Boltzmann with the Osgith place.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. I was like, I thought you said you wanted Boltzmann for a Heroes Gallery, and I was like, but we're going to Heroes Gallery.
No, if I said that wrong, I apologize.
No worries.
Okay. So that is where we will end it tonight. Again, thank you for all the support to all of the new followers, all of the gift, Darth Torlin coming in big with a large amount of subs. We appreciate that so much. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for all the new people that have joined us this evening. We appreciate all of you.
You're amazing.
If you missed any part of this episode, the VOD is available immediately on Twitch, but they will not stay there forever. If you want to catch up on any of the previous episodes, starting from the beginning of this campaign, the link to our YouTube is below. Search Black Dragon RP and look for our big Dragon Eye logo. The last thing before we go, I want to take a moment and shout out to the players. In the info box below, you'll see some links. Go check out these wonderful people. Some of them have links to their Twitter accounts, like Throwaway Doodles, Ellen, who plays Boltzmann, RPG Theologian, Rob, who plays Saoirse, the Relentless Hunter, Aaron, who plays Branimir, and then some who stream here on Twitch, like Thumperknox Ryan, Ryan, who plays Dante, Yumi Segura, who is Tony, who plays Cameo. They stream right here on Twitch on a regular basis, so go and drop them a follow and a sub. And last but not least, Brenna, who plays Emmy, author and writing cheerleader on Twitch, Tuesday through Saturday on Bryn Nailed It channel. I am Brad. I'm known as Monocle Moose on all platforms. Go check all of us out. In the info box below is those links. That wraps up this episode for us. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you here again next week. Same time, same Twitch channel. We love you very much. And goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.